the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ, the travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio, I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
That's an oxymoron.
Yeah. Final day of January.
Mm-hmm. So get it done.
Yeah. First day of February is mañana, new month of 2022.
That's right. Wednesday, your teamo gets a name-o.
That's right. Washington football team will announce their name on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And the groundhog will announce whether he saw a shadow.
As I understand it, if Dan Snyder sees his shadow, the team's going to change its name, and if not, they're just going to go with it in their season.
They're supposed to announce the name on the Today Show.
Right.
So it's going to be a busy morning between Puxtawney Phil and Dan Snyder, or whoever is going to be on for Washington discussing the name. I have no idea if it'll be the president or Mrs. Snyder or who's going to be on there, but somebody will be. I don't know, maybe I'll flip over to, you know what, though? I'll know, because
of course you'll know.
I think it'll be at like 8 o'clock hour on the Today Show. They're supposed to do it. But that's like East Coast time, which would make 6 our time, which they re-air. So I'll know on the internet by like 6 in the morning what the name is, I'm thinking. So
yeah, you'll know.
Which will probably be Commanders, the way everyone's talking. But we'll see. I don't care at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they've taken all the joy. This is the thing. So I'm a firm follower of the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community. The problem with that is, and I enjoy that. The problem with that is there's no surprises in it anymore. Yeah. Like, I know all the inside, like, kayfabe, stuff that's going to happen because, well, I watch it constantly. It's the same thing with any sports fanatic. It's like if you follow your team closely, you're probably going to know all the secrets before the regulars, the normies do.
Probably. Yeah. And I don't know. I'm hoping Washington. I don't know. I to be honest, I expect them on Wednesday to say it's going to be the Commanders, and they're going to show the logo that they've leaked out that we've seen for the last 3 weeks now.
Right.
And so be it. If that's what it is, it's what it is. Yeah. Do I love it? Meh. Do I hate it? Meh. I really am meh about it. It doesn't move the needle one way or the other for me. It just kind of is. I would be pleasantly surprised if they came out of the blue and said they're going to be the Red Tails on Wednesday, or I'll even take the Hogs or the something with a hog.
See, you know what? And
reference.
I know that Razorbacks is taken by Arkansas, but it's the same essential colors.
Yeah,
you guys could totally go with Razorbacks.
Well, and the reason people are like, what's Hogs got to do with Washington? And that has to do with Washington, the Redskins, back in their glory days, their fan base. The Joe Bugle was credited with naming the offensive line during the Redskins' heyday.
Right.
The Hogs. He kept saying, "You Hogs, get up there," and they embraced that name, and they were the Hogs, and it was just very celebrated amongst the Washington faithful. There was a group of fans that dressed up as female pigs and wore snouts, and they called themselves the Hogettes.
Okay.
And they were immensely popular to the point of where they were doing commercials for television show. Their dresses in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, one of the Hogettes dresses. It's a thing.
So this has nothing to do with the 30 to 50 feral hogs that run up in my yard when my children are trying to play?
Nothing to do with that.
That I have to take out with my assault rifle?
Nothing to do with that.
Okay.
But so the Hogs have been term of endearment with the Washington fan base since Joe Bugle and Joe Gibbs and the early 80s of Washington Redskins lore. So if they happen to call them the Hogs or something along those lines as an homage to that, I would be very happy too, because that's very much part of the fabric of that team. Anything beside those two names is meh to me.
Yeah.
Admirals, Commanders, anything that looks like, for those people that play John Madden football for any length of time, if you ever get into that phase of John Madden where you can build your own team and they have about 30 different generic logos like the Bandits and things like that, Commander, it looks like it's just pulled right out of one of those. Right. Build your own team.
It does kind of, it does look like very like Tecmo Bowl-esque.
Yeah, maybe they did a pre-run. They ran a couple seasons on Madden 02 and saw if they could see what they could build a stadium.
Sir, we could put a skull and crossbones on this one. Now let's just keep it basic.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're going to do on Wednesday. I'm probably going to announce Commanders, and they'll show that logo that they've been stealing on the internet or seen as a stolen thing on the internet for the last 2 weeks.
I'll say this. I mean, I have no dog in the fight anymore as far as like, who's going to the Super Bowl and all that, but I'm intrigued.
You know what? The Bengals winning yesterday adds a nice little wrinkle to the Super Bowl.
Certainly does. They haven't been to the dance since '88, and the last two times they got knocked out by the 49ers.
I imagine fan base wise, a Chiefs-Rams Super Bowl would be more appealing to the NFL.
Sure.
But I ain't going to lie. When you get a team out of a smaller market, which frankly Cincinnati is, I know compared to here and everything else, but in NFL world, Cincinnati's not the mecca for football here. There's other markets. It's Jacksonville, Cincinnati. These are on the bubble markets, for them.
It is. But it makes it intriguing because, nobody saw this one coming.
Well, Joe Burrow's a good core.
As far as like the Vegas bookmakers go, they're losing their crap right now.
Yeah, Joe Burrow flew. He's a great quarterback and everything, but as terms of elite quarterbacks, he kind of flew under the radar this year. There a lot of people got a little more shine than he did. So, that's gone now.
It's like when you find out you work for or you're going to be on a team like Cincinnati or Cleveland or Jacksonville. It's just one of those teams you're like, okay, I guess I'm going to mid this year. So you don't see them going to the dance like ever, but crazier things have happened.
There you go.
Now the weird thing is the game's going to be at SoFi Stadium, which is the home stadium for the Rams. Last year, the Bucs became the first team in NFL history to win a Super Bowl at their home stadium.
Yeah.
So this could be a second time in
scenario.
2 years. Yeah, that happens.
Who are you rooting for? Do you have a dog?
I have no dog in this fight. Honestly, I was sort of tacitly backing the Niners, even though they knocked the Packers out, just because of the connections with the girlfriend. But I got no dog in this fight. It would be interesting to see Cincinnati take it all the way.
Yeah,
if nothing else, Nick Lachey would be happy.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not 100% in, but right now I'm rooting for the Bengals.
Yeah,
I have an underdog kind of dude when I don't have my dog in the fight, so to speak, and my dog hadn't been in the fight since 1991. So, let's go Bengals. Go Bengals.
I'll be super happy if they show up in the end zone one or two times and walk like an Egyptian.
Now, I'll say this. The Bengals have made an appearance in the Super Bowl several times. None of those times have ended in their favor.
I was like, during the halftime show.
No. Back in the 80s, they would.
It was 83 and 88.
Yeah. Joe Montana beat them once. Who did they play the second time?
It was 49ers both times.
Both times?
Yeah.
So I think Steve Young later on
They've been three times, twice in the 80s. I can't remember the exact dates. I had those. I pulled it up earlier, but I couldn't remember exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, I knew they've been up before. So I remember watching a couple. Matter of fact, the year before Washington won their first Super Bowl in 82.
Go ahead.
The year before, the Bengals lost to the 49ers.
I'm going to be intrigued to see them. The defensive line of this band is interesting.
I got your Bengals Manic Monday.
I was like, oh, that's perfect.
All I can think of is Spanish class. Because, like I said, we had a bunch of fools in Spanish class, and they like to we had a guy that used to sing pop songs in half Spanish, half English during class,
right?
For no apparent reason. And that was one of the songs he chose in his stable. Just another manic loonies. Wish it were Domingo, because that's when I play bingo. That was his song.
Pretty good.
So when I hear that, I think of back in Spanish class, freshman year of high school, and Nick Clasoris was his name. Used to sing those songs.
That's a rough name to have as a kid, man.
But Nick was the clown guy, so
you have to be with a name like Clasoris.
He was not taken; he was given. He was a giver. He would take your shots before you could get into him. So he was fast-witted.
He was the last rap in 8 Mile.
He was a quick-witted young individual. I have no idea what he's doing now, but yeah, he was
probably looking into changing his name.
He used to drive Senora Barley, our Spanish teacher. I'm pretty sure drove her to drinking. He was kind of the thorn in her side those days. She loved and hated him at the same time, you know?
How many times was his name mispronounced Clisoris?
I have no idea.
I'm sorry. I'm stuck on it.
I just heard you yelling Nick a lot from the teacher. Senora Barley, Nick!
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, we just called him Nick.
Like, this is the thing. I watch a lot of, like, you know, shows with casts or like ensemble casts of like silly named characters. Dairy, you know, Squirrely Dan. Nobody could come up with a name like Nick Clasoris. That's maybe the greatest name I've ever heard in my whole life.
Well, you're welcome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Nick. I know he was a high school friend of mine.
Oh, that poor guy.
Nick Clasoris.
That poor guy. His name was Nicholas Clasoris. I mean, that poor guy.
That's why I think he went on the attack first. That way you didn't have time. By the time you try to get to the name calling, he's already got you eviscerated into a corner there.
These days he's hiding because, you know, nobody can find the Clasoris.
Let me give you the rundown of the show. Yep. Actually, we're going to replay some interviews this hour. Congresswoman Yvette Herald joined us for a few minutes on Friday in the 9 o'clock hour. Had a great talk to a little bit about a couple different things, you know, what's going on with some of the stuff in Congress here, talking a little bit about the justice the hearings and things going on that'll be coming up here in the Senate. And, of course, we talk about redistricting and her thoughts on that, too. So we're going to play that for you here in just a little bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15 on Friday, Damon Graham with Leadership Roswell Alumni Association joined us to discuss the Municipal Candidate Forum that's happening tomorrow out at the Pueblo Auditorium. We're going to carry that for you here on the radio and on KSVPTV.com. But Damien came on, gave us lots of good information on the event tomorrow, encouraging you to come out. So we're going to play that interview for you here about 8:15. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, the folks from Healthy Kids Chaves County are going to join us, give us an update on what they've got going on there. Plus, I think they're bringing a guest with them, too, if I remember right. I have to go dig through my notes there. But, yeah, so we'll do that in the 9 o'clock hour. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local and national variety and other features as well, and sports and all that, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got some colder temperatures on the way by Wednesday and maybe even a little bit of snow, rain, and freezing rain. In the meantime, nice today. Sunshine, and our high will be in the upper 60s. Overnight, clouds and down to about 30, and then upper 50s with a few more clouds and breezy conditions on Tuesday. A chance of snow Wednesday morning, rain in the afternoon, and low 40s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, everyone's not a fan of Nick's name. I didn't name him. That was the guy's name. Currently 26 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 69% with winds calm at the moment. Today, sunny skies, a high of 68. Enjoy that because that's going to be short-lived this week. Winds will be out of the northwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 31. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, we'll be in the 50s. Partly cloudy, 57 for a high tomorrow. North winds, a little breezy, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tuesday night, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 29 degrees. Northeast winds 5 to 10. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we're looking at snow chances. We're looking at a 60% chance of precip on Wednesday. They're talking a chance of snow before 11 on Wednesday, and then a rain and snow mix after 11. They're saying mostly cloudy for the day with a high of 42, east winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday night, we're looking at a 70% chance of snow, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 16. And then Thursday, a 30% chance of snow showers, partly cloudy, high of 25. No talk of snow totals yet, so we'll see. I did see like a couple of those models that they show on the news over the weekend, and some of the models I saw like a couple inches for us, like 2. Like is what I was seeing, but I don't know. That could change between now and then. It could be none, you know, how New Mexico works. So, well, as we get closer to the midweek, I'm sure we'll get better information there. But looks like pretty good chance of seeing some moisture during those couple days. The 30% chance of snow on Thursday, partly cloudy, overnight low of 25. Friday, mostly sunny with a high of 32. And then next weekend, sunny and 43 on Saturday, sunny and 47 on Sunday. So, not too bad for that later part there. But yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, looks like we could be seeing some snow. We'll see how much as we get a little closer to that event. All right, it is 7:21. Let's go ahead and get you into your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten for your Monday morning. We'll take a quick commercial break, and then we'll play the interview we had Friday with Congresswoman Yvette Harrell. That's up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good end of January run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality weaned calves, light yearlings, and young cow-calf pairs and bred cows. We expect to sell 1,250 head, breaking down like this. 225 weighing cows and bulls, 175 pairs bred cows, 900 calves and yearlings, with a herd dispersal consisting of 120 cow-calf pairs. These cows are 2 to 8 years old, mostly 4s to 6s. 30 bred cows, 2 to 8 years old, mostly 4s to 6s. And 40 young open cows, 2 to 4 years old. Cows are excellent quality black Angus, a few black white-faced cows, gentle, in good condition, with Angus calves at side out of high-quality registered Angus bulls. Also 72 calves, Mr. Jason Danley, La Luz, New Mexico, ex-quality black, white-faced Angus and Hereford crossbred calves. Cattle weaned 75 and 90 days, 3 rounds of shots, multi-men, right off grass, 450, 650 pounds. 65 calves, Mr. Ronald Stansney, Magdalena, New Mexico, ex-quality black, white-faced Angus crossbred calves, medium condition, 400, 600 pounds. 20 steers, Thunderhead Ranch here northwest of Roswell. Excellent quality black Angus cross calves, cattle weaned 75 days, 2 rounds of shots, right off grass, 600, 700 pounds. 20 steers, Mr. Wesley Eaton, Vado, New Mexico, ex-quality black Angus cross yearlings, cattle weaned 120 days, 2 rounds of shots, bunk broke, 550, 700 pounds. 35 head, Elk Cattle Company, Mayhill, New Mexico, ex-quality black Angus and Brangus cross calves, shots at Brandon, 375, 500 pounds, and 15 light yearlings, Casabo Ranches, right down here at Hope, ex-quality black Angus crosses, weaned 60 days, 2 rounds, shots, 550, 650 pounds. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows, 9:45. Be selling calves and yearlings about 10:30. Lighter run today, so don't be late. We expect to sell 1,250 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
It's a new year, time for new beginnings, and time to get a new vehicle for your family. Richland Chevy Buick GMC and Richland Dodge Chrysler Jeep both have amazing New Year's deals on both new and pre-owned vehicles. Check out both Richland's lots, where you'll find a huge inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Or better yet, customize your new vehicle. Order it today and build the vehicle of your dreams. And with the Richland Brand Champion program, you can ride with confidence knowing you're taken care of long after the sale. Ride for the brand that rides for you. Richland, where service is always job one. Decor of Carlsbad has easy financing with no credit check. And right now, save big on furniture for your home during the inventory clearance sale. Find one-of-a-kind, discount, and overstock furniture ready for pickup. Bring your truck, bring your trailer, and have it home today. Dinettes, sofas, recliners, sectionals. Save big during the inventory clearance and tax refund sale, where it's all ready to go at Decor of Carlsbad on the corner of Mermont and Mesa.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
Good morning. It is 2 minutes after 9 o'clock, and you're like, hey, what's going on here? Sound a little different. Where's news here? Slight change in programming here this morning. We have joining us on the phone this morning, we have Congresswoman Yvette Harrell with us today. And first off, good morning, Congresswoman. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Mike. Thank you for having me. I always appreciate this.
We love getting a chance to chat with you and get up to date on things here. I do. I'm curious how's life been treating you? I don't think we've talked to you in 2022 yet. So how's the new year been for you?
You know what? It's been great. And of course, we've been in Washington. We haven't taken on very many important issues because I think the Democrats have ran out of stuff. They really thought they had everything done, and now they're just scrambling. In fact, the first 2 weeks after we got back from the Christmas break, all we did were, and I'm not taking away the value, but
right.
It was more like congressional medal type bills.
Gotcha.
Naming post office type. Nothing super substantial outside of their voting,
housekeeping,
the voting
style
bill.
Things. Yeah,
more of that. The only big one was the voting. Redoing the entire voting structure. Actually nationalizing our voting laws. And I had voted against that similar bill back in a year ago, and I voted against it again because I think the states are the ones who have the authority over how our voting laws are structured, not the federal government. And of course, this bill that Nancy Pelosi wants would actually nationalize the elections. It would make ballot harvesting legal in every state. It would eliminate all voter ID, even the states that have it, allow 16-year-olds to vote. I mean, it just goes on. And to me, it's like, why don't we run on actual, character and policy positions and values and how we represent instead of feeling like we've got to tilt the scale, if you will, to ensure that Republicans or conservatives don't win.
Yeah. I thought she was going to retire. Wasn't that the plan? And I guess she changed her mind or something.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, last year she had mentioned she'd retire. Well, then just a week ago, or actually this week, she said she was going to go ahead and seek another term. And this is what I predict. If Republicans take the House back in 2022 this year,
mm-hmm.
I believe Nancy Pelosi steps down. I think she'll cite some type of health reason or a plastic surgery gone afoul. Something will happen, and she will step down because I personally do not see Nancy Pelosi being in the minority if Republicans take the House.
Gotcha. Hey, I'm kind of curious. I know you've been back in the state here the last few days, but I'm kind of curious. The announcing of the retirement of the Supreme Court justice there, was that a left field thing for you guys, or did you hear rumblings of this coming? Just out of curiosity.
It's kind of no. We had not. And I've been asked, was this a strategy plan to give, the Biden administration a victory of some sort?
That's what I feel like it is. Yeah.
I don't know, and it's hard to tell. But what I thought though was fascinating and discouraging all at the same time is I saw the press conference yesterday where President Biden said, the person he chooses is going to have integrity and, be able to represent, interpret the law. And it just sounded all good. And then he followed up with, and it'll be the first black female. Isn't that discrimination?
That's 101 discrimination right there.
Right. And then what scares me even more is he's appointed Kamala Harris to find the appointee or the right candidate.
Yeah.
Which, if she does that, like she's handled the border, that's a frightening thought all on its own. But with her connection to it and being so involved with it, you know, if this gets to the House and there's a to the Senate and there's a deciding vote, would she still be able to vote, or would that be a conflict of interest, which she had to recuse herself? Although I'm just speculating there, and I would imagine they'll have bipartisan support of some sort. But yeah, it's just very interesting. But timing does seem a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
So it'll be curious to see. But I believe this is what they'll be talking about for the next, 6 weeks until he appoints that person, and then clearly the Senate will probably take very swift action on it. So
yeah.
But
I was just curious that's why I asked that question, because you nailed it. This smells of a strategic move, and
right.
I'm like, did the justice even know he was going to be retiring last week? You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly. That's my question.
Yeah.
Here,
it's not. It wouldn't surprise me if he had maybe considered it.
Yeah.
Given his years of service and his age and all that, but I wonder, like you, did they somehow fast track it along? Because let's face it, Democrats are struggling. I mean, we just did a press conference on January 20th with Leader McCarthy, Steve Scalise, Elise Stefanik, and a handful of members. And, we were, kind of reviewing the last year of this first year in office. And, I said, look, they've taken us on a road trip, he and Nancy Pelosi, President and Pelosi, down to the 1970s with the cost of gas, food, fuel, everything. I said, nobody's having a good time here. And all of the policies they've come up with, all the executive orders, everything they've touched has absolutely failed the American people. So they don't have a lot to hang their hats on. And I think this push for now, this opportunity to, bring a progressive to the Supreme Court is something they'll absolutely want to hang their hat on.
Absolutely. And so it's going to be an interesting fight over the next couple months, and stay tuned is probably the best advice we can give folks right now.
Right. Yeah. We'll know by the end of February, it sounds like, who they're going to try to put in the place of this retiring judge. But it'll be interesting. Here's the sad thing, though, Mike. That's what's going to, go all over the airwaves. That's what everybody's going to be talking about. Mm-hmm. But they're not going to be talking about, our kids are still not getting a good education. Crime is on the rise everywhere because of this soft on crime policy and this bail reform that all these states have locked into, open border. We're still not energy independent because we gave that away to the Russians under this administration. I mean, they're just things that are touching people's lives every day. And they want answers. They want solutions. They want a different policy set forth that will actually help them build up their business and receive the prosperity that they deserve. But that's not what they're getting out of this administration and out of this Congress, quite frankly.
Yeah. Just real quick, and because I do want to talk redistricting a little bit with you, but I do want to, since we're kind of capping it off here, last week President Biden, kind of did his, or a week before, whatever, the state, his little press conference where he did the question answer for a couple hours and all that. What were some of your thoughts out of that? Just curious, what was there any red flags, anything that after you witnessed that, was there anything that you either support or concerned about?
I concern myself with the global position we have with a weak leader. I concern myself with him being so hell-bent on damaging America as we know it, that he will not put back into place the policies that we know worked on the border, Title 42. And they say on the news, they're utilizing Title 42. That's the policy that Trump had, that they would do a quick process on the border and then push people back into Canada or Mexico. It was used across the board, families, unaccompanied minors, individuals. They've only used it on about 300 people so far this year. But I'm concerned because there's no confidence in this leader. He doesn't even seem like he's confident in issues. And I think that's what's concerning to the American people, the lack of confidence and the unwillingness to look to see. I mean, look at what Greg Abbott did yesterday. He had that press conference with the attorney generals and different law enforcement from around the state and the country. And he just said, look, this president has no regard for people who are being killed, who are dying, losing their lives because of this open border policy. And it's as if they just move on to the next thing. And I tell you, if you just turn around and look back over the last 12 months, the chaos, destruction in business opportunities, in everything that touches our lives is a disaster. And they just keep moving forward as if there's been nothing wrong with it, and everybody can see it.
Well, even the videos that were some were coming out yesterday, I think, like the secret videos of some of these, moving immigrants under the veil of night on airplanes. I mean, that all reeks of shadiness. You know what I mean? And
it is shady.
Yeah.
And it is shady, and American people ought to be getting angry because we're spending billions of dollars on all this resettlement, moving these illegals. Remember, these people are breaking the law to get here. And just like the police officer in Houston that was shot down and murdered last weekend, he was killed by an illegal alien who had been already arrested, had a rap sheet a mile long, had no bail set because of this soft on crime attitude that somehow these judges and these states think is a good idea. And, I mean, there's no reason for that. And Americans, they don't need, New Mexicans and Americans, they don't need politicians saying, hey, we're in a crisis mode, cost of gas is up, cost of utilities and groceries and supply chain and work shortage. They don't need us to tell that. They can see it, they feel it, they live it. But the fact that this administration turns the blind eye, and it's just like in New Mexico, we've asked the administration to please put the National Guard troops back on the border because, newsflash, we're seeing a huge uptick in crossings because of what Texas is doing. It's clearly pushing these illegals west, and they're seeing the big uptick in Yuma. But in Santa Teresa, in Sunland Park, across the Johnson's Ranch, big uptick. And in fact, Border Patrol, the U.S. Attorney, law enforcement, those folks have all reached out to us right here in District 2 to have meetings with them in the next couple of weeks because they are seeing an onslaught of people. They know that equals crime, drugs. They're having trouble and they're feeling it in a bad way. But this could all be eliminated if the administration would replace the policies that actually worked for the last 4 years.
Right. We don't have you but for another 2-3 minutes here, so I want to change gears because I definitely want to get your opinion on this. Obviously, with the state of New Mexico and redistricting that's been going on, a very controversial subject here as they really adopted a extreme change in our congressional districts in the state of New Mexico. Obviously, with your district, that got broken up quite a bit. If I think, and I'm just doing off the top of my head, but if this goes through the way it goes through, I think your representation of Chavez County is pretty much the boot heel. That's about it. Just first off, your thoughts on this redistricting. I don't want to put thoughts in your head, but what is your opinion so far of this, and what do you see happening here in the coming months with this?
Yeah. Well, first off, I'm so disappointed, but yet not surprised, because Brian Egoff, our speaker, went out the day after we won and said that he would take me out of office through redistricting. I felt a little hopeful when they set up the redistricting commission, which was a step that I had not seen in my time in the legislature and after. And I thought, well, this might be a great idea, except there was language in the bill that said that they would consider the maps submitted by the redistrict commission, or they could come up with their own. So that's clearly what happened. And what a disenfranchise and a disservice to not only those who sat on the commission, but to all the people that went and put in their 2 cents, made the effort to really have their voices heard. The commission submitted, I think, 3 maps. And, during the process, Brian Egoff himself submitted the People's Map, which was a horrible map, a lot of pushback there. And then they get to the special session and come out of left field with a map that's absolutely crazy. And here's what I'm more disgusted about. I've never looked for a free ride. I mean, I've worked very hard for this seat, and I've worked very hard for the people of New Mexico in this seat. But what I'm really angry about, really, Mike, is they basically silenced the voices of so many conservatives and moderates that don't share the same point of view as these progressives that are in charge of our state. And that's the crime in this whole thing. Now looking at, towns like Artesia being in the same district as Santa Fe, when both Stansbury and Ledger Fernandez have come out very publicly against fossil fuels, against oil and gas, have introduced legislation to make it harder for them, increase their royalties, and have voted against every amendment that I've brought forward that could actually help them. They're all about the green energy. So it's absolutely going to be an interesting turn of events to see somebody like Ledger Fernandez turn and suddenly support the oil and gas. And what I'm really angry of is how do people who put so much into their communities, into the state coffers, into their businesses for decades, now think that they have a voice at the federal level? They don't, and they won't. And that's what's disappointing to me.
Assuming all this goes through and lawsuits and things don't happen, and this is the map we're going to be dealing with for the next 10 years.
10 years.
What is that going to what impact for you? Assuming you run and then you stay reelected in the second congressional district, but is that going to, in essence, kind of? I know you represent your district, but in a sense, you represent all of New Mexico in Congress at the same time.
Right.
Does that kind of change where now you're going to, in essence, come to places like Roswell and do campaigning and working for these folks, even though technically they're not really in your district anymore, but the values that you represent what many of the people of Roswell want? I mean, is it going to turn into something like that, or is it going to really force liberals to be more moderate at some? I mean, I don't know. I'm like, because you look at Roswell, and I think we're going to be lumped in with Albuquerque, so that washes our opinion out right there.
Absolutely. I get what you're saying, and what I would let everybody know is, we're going to continue servicing the constituents and fighting for everything in the district that voted me into office. It's a 2-year term, so now we're going into our second year. So we will be highly visible in Lincoln, Eddy, Chaves County. We'll still have our office there in Roswell. When it, on the other side of that, when it comes to campaigning, if the map as it is right now, the new one that the governor just signed, if that stays in play, campaign-wise, we'll certainly start moving and getting acquainted with the South Valley and certainly the west side of Albuquerque. And I've already been up in that area, meeting with different people, getting a feel for what their concerns are, what their issues are, kind of the nuances of that part of the district, if this is the map that stays in play.
Sure.
But for this year, we're going to continue to serve the second congressional that voted me into office, and we'll always be a voice for oil and gas and for ag operations and for the forest restoration and all these natural resources that are so important to New Mexico, and certainly the second congressional in New Mexico. So we'll be that voice. Now, the lawsuit was filed a week ago today, or a week ago yesterday, in the fifth district, which is state court down in Lee County. I wish I had an update for you right now, but I don't. But it's been filed. We did not ask for the filing date for us as candidates. We file our candidacy, our declaration of candidacy on Tuesday, the 1st.
Okay.
We didn't ask for that to be pushed back, and we did not ask for the primary to be pushed back because time really is of the essence.
Gotcha.
And I'm just, I just keep praying about it. Regardless, Mike, I'm always the one who puts people over politics. So we'll work hard, regardless what the new district looks like. But the shame here is, I'm up for the fight and the challenge, and we'll work hard to win this seat and hold it again. But it's the people in Roswell, in, Artesia, in parts of Hobbs or Lee County, just that have been so chopped up, and they can know. They don't even have to wonder. They know they will not have a voice in Washington, and that's the shame of it all.
Well, I know you got to go. I'm sure your folks are telling it, but I will tell you this: we appreciate the service you do, and if it changes where technically you're not our representative anymore, we would love to keep you on regularly, talking to us, keeping us up to date. And obviously I would offer the same to whoever will eventually be representing us in whatever district we end up being in after all said and done. But please understand that regardless, we want to make sure you have an opportunity to speak to the people of Roswell, because I'm sure many of them, regardless of what happens here, are going to feel like you're their representative. So. Yeah,
and I just want to assure everybody that no matter what the maps say, you're not getting rid of me. I mean, I'm still going to be dialed in, and this oil and gas and these industries over on the east side play such an important role for not only the nation but for the state. And we're going to make sure that we keep beating the drum, because it is a disservice what they've done to so many families, communities, everybody over on the east side with this map. So hopefully we just keep praying about it. and just press in and hope that, we'll see, that truth will prevail, and that we will see a map that changes and really helps the people of New Mexico.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Congresswoman. We appreciate the time here. I'm sure you got about 20 other things, and you got your people yelling at you right now. So
yeah, I do. So that's okay. Anyway,
tell
but
Casey
I do
I'm sorry.
appreciate our time. Yeah, I will. I'll tell him. But I sure do appreciate our time, and that we'll definitely keep talking as we see what happens with this map and see what happens in Washington.
Absolutely. And anytime you're in our neighborhood, please come on by for a visit.
You got it.
All
okay,
right.
Thanks, Mike. You have a blessed weekend.
Thank you. You do the same. Take care.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye now.
On grave sites and would like to retrieve the items should do so no later than February 11th. After that, cemetery staff will begin clearing away and disposing of the items. South Park Cemetery thanks the public for its cooperation. On the crime beat, Chavez County deputies investigating what Sheriff Mike Harrington describes as a, quote, brutal beating. Harrington posted on Facebook that deputies were trying to locate a woman, approximately 20 to 30 years old, Hispanic or Native American, who was down in the Midway area at some point on Sunday morning. The person of interest was wearing a black tank top shirt and gray shorts. The victim in the case has not been identified, so deputies are trying to locate her family members. And New Mexico's Democrat Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham now backing a $15 minimum wage for school workers. The governor's spokeswoman, Nora Sackett, confirmed her support for the $15 minimum on Friday. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
We begin this week with more protests against the Apple AirTag, those coin-sized tracking devices designed to find lost car keys, track bicycles, briefcases, purses, and even your pet. But stalkers, thieves, abusive partners, and other dangerous people quickly began using AirTags to follow, harass, and target victims. So what exactly is the answer? I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. Post a job for free and find qualified candidates quickly at linkedin.com/Kim. One of these groups is called STOP, the Surveillance Technology Oversight Project. It sounds big, but it's made up of only 14 people. They're demanding that Apple immediately stop selling AirTags, which isn't going to happen. But if you use an iPhone, your iPhone will alert you if an unknown AirTag, one that is not yours, is nearby. You can even make the tag emit a beeping sound. If your phone alerts you, make the tag beep, trace it down, and get rid of it. But if you're using an Android device, it's not so easy. I have the steps that you need to take right now at commando.com. Winter can put a freeze on your finances with expensive car repairs. You don't want to get stuck with a broken heater or having your car break down. That's why I have CarShield. Taking care of a covered repair with CarShield is easy. They handle the paperwork and expensive payments so you don't have to. Seriously, CarShield could help you save thousands. I chose the mechanic to do the work, and CarShield takes care of the rest. CarShield plans even provide coast-to-coast roadside assistance, rental coverage, and trip reimbursement, all at no additional charge. Whether your car has 5,000 miles or 150,000 miles, CarShield has monthly coverage options to fit your budget. That's why CarShield is your best defense against costly repairs that could put a deep freeze on your plans and finances. CarShield has helped over 1 million drivers, and they can help you too. Visit carshield.com/Kim to save 10%. That's carshield.com/Kim. A deductible may apply. That's carshield.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got some colder temperatures on the way by Wednesday and maybe even a little bit of snow, rain, and freezing rain. In the meantime, nice today. Sunshine, and our high will be in the upper 60s. Overnight, clouds and down to about 30, and then upper 50s with a few more clouds and breezy conditions on Tuesday. A chance of snow Wednesday morning, rain in the afternoon, and low 40s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Now, this is the way to start the district basketball schedule. If you're the Goddard Rockets, it's exactly what you wanted against Portales on Friday night. Goddard beats the Rams 51-41. Noah Reese gets 12 points. Junior Zeke Esquivel has 11 rebounds for the Rockets, and they are now 12-9 overall. They will be taking on Lovington at Lovington Tuesday at 7. Lovington just barely lost to Artesia in its district opener Friday night. So that should be a good one. Meanwhile, the Roswell Coyotes boys basketball team fell hard to Carlsbad 66-27 Friday night. They are now 0-2 in district, but they did come back to win a makeup game against Chaparral 74-31 on Saturday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Arriving just hours after a serious bridge collapse in Pittsburgh, President Joe Biden spoke of the striking evidence supporting the $1 trillion infrastructure law he already had planned to talk about on his trip to Pittsburgh. The president spoke with first responders at the scene. Federal safety regulators say they have cleared the way for Verizon and AT&T to power up more towers for the new 5G service without causing radio interference with airplanes. The Federal Aviation Administration said Friday that it took the steps after receiving details from the telecommunications companies about the location of wireless transmitters. The FAA said the data helped to better map areas around airports where new high-speed 5G service will not hinder the ability of planes to land during poor weather. On Wall Street, the Dow up 564 points. The Nasdaq rose 417, and the S&P 500 up 105 points. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
It's a new year, time for new beginnings, and time to get a new vehicle for your family. Richland Chevy Buick GMC and Richland Dodge Chrysler Jeep both have amazing New Year's deals on both new and pre-owned vehicles. Check out both Richland's lots, where you'll find a huge inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Or better yet, customize your new vehicle. Order it today and build the vehicle of your dreams. And with the Richland Brand Champion program, you can ride with confidence knowing you're taken care of long after the sale. Ride for the brand that rides for you. Richland, where service is always job one.
Austin Industrial is currently seeking a janitorial staff position to work in the Holly Frontier Refinery. You will be responsible for cleaning and sanitizing offices, meeting rooms, bathrooms, kitchen and dining room, and public areas. No minimum education requirements are needed, no experience is required, and pay is $13.50 an hour for this full-time 40-hour-a-week position. Apply at austin-ind.com or call Miss Cookie Look at 832-657-3385. Austin Industrial is an equal employment opportunity employer.
What does it mean to be a world-class university? To start, being ranked in the top 2% of universities in the world, and to be the only designated R1 highest research activity university in the state. It's about creating the most opportunities for students. And at the University of New Mexico, we do just that by offering affordable, top-tier education year after year and awarding millions in scholarships to our students. So, what are you waiting for? Apply to UNM at apply.unm.edu.
106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and KSVPTV.com invite you to attend the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association Candidate Forum for the 2022 Roswell Municipal Election. The event will take place Tuesday, February 1st, 6 p.m. at the Pueblo Auditorium. If you can't attend in person, be sure and listen to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM or watch online, KSVPTV.com or KSVPTV on YouTube.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:53. Got a few minutes before the top of the hour here. Next hour, about 8:15 or so, we're going to play our interview we had on Friday with Damon Graham from the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. Tomorrow, the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association will be hosting their Municipal Candidate Forum. We will be partnering with them to bring it to you. It'll be taking place tomorrow. 6 p.m. officially is whenever the forum starts. However, we'd love to invite you to get out about 5:30. The candidates will have 30 minutes prior to the event. They'll have tables out in the lobby, and you can come and meet them, discuss with them, ask questions, things like that. And then at 6 p.m. will be the Municipal Candidate Forum. They will have candidates representative. I believe all but one candidate will be there. I believe one of the mayoral candidates is under the weather and cannot make it tomorrow. But I think everyone else has RSVP'd that they're going to make it to the event. So we've got the mayoral race, and the 5 city council races that we'll be covering at the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association Forum tomorrow night. We'd love to have you come out. It's completely free, doesn't cost anything. As a matter of fact, there's some couple door prizes, an awesome American flag, and snacks and things you can get while you're there, or sign up for while you're there. And of course, if you cannot make it, we will be carrying it live on the radio beginning at 6 p.m. right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. We'll also have live streaming video and on-demand video later of the event, ksvptv.com. You'll see a channel there when you go to ksvptv.com. If you go there today, you see different channels, Mornings with Mike Winters channel, the Good Morning Artesia channel, the various Coyote and Rocket and Bulldog channels there. But you'll also see one tomorrow for the Municipal Candidate Forum. Click on that, and that'll open up the browser with the video there. It will begin at 6 p.m. tomorrow, but the video will be available on demand. So if you can't watch it live, or better yet, come out to the event, see it. That way you can see all the different aspects of the event, and then any parts you want to go back and rewatch or that you may have missed or want to just hear again, you can go back to the video. Like obviously, most of us are going to have a mayoral race and then a city council race to run for. If you live in, say, Ward 2, you probably won't care so much about the Ward 3 or Ward 4 or, any of those races. Every race has an opponent, like a contested race with the exception of Ward 5. Ward 5, Angela Moore, the incumbent, is running for re-election. She is running unopposed. We gave her an opportunity, or have given her an opportunity to speak on tomorrow. I believe she's accepted and will be there tomorrow to talk to folks during and give a formal speech, even though she's running unopposed, but gives her a chance to address the public. And obviously, if you talk to her before or after, you get to ask her some questions if you live in Ward 5 there and want to know. So, but anyway, it's happening tomorrow. We're going to play the interview next hour to get you all the information about it if you have more questions and things. So tune in next hour for that. Now that we're turning our attention to February, because today's about it for January, Vitalant has several blood drives happening here in the month of February. Their first one in Roswell will be coming up here on February 4th, end of this week. They're going to be at the Vitalant office from 11 to 2:30. If you'd like to sign up for that blood drive, reach out to Stephanie at Vitalant. You can call her or text her at 575-840-8178. Again, that's 575-840-8178. If you can't make the event on the 4th, next week on Tuesday, February 8th, they're gonna be having a blood drive at the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. They're gonna have the Bloodmobile there at the museum from noon until 5 p.m. next Tuesday, February 8th. If you'd like to get in on that blood drive, call or text Stephanie with Vitalant, 575-840-8178. You can also reach out to Amy through the Historical Society, history director at outlook.com. Shoot a message, whatever, and she can get you scheduled for that blood drive too as well. I'll tell you this, just because I know from personal experience and being involved with the Historical Society, serving on the board and various things, when you donate blood there, she likes to give extra swag. Like United Blood Services, you donate blood, of course they give you snacks and things, and it's a very pleasant experience for the most part. It's nice. You're really helping people out. But I know for a fact Amy likes to go above and beyond, and she gives, like, every person that donates blood during a Historical Society blood drive, she likes to give them extra little swag. Could be Biscochitas, could be other things, could be a combination thereof, whatever's kind of inspiring her that day. So if you're, want a little extra, incentive to maybe donate blood, do it through the Historical Society. Give a call to Stephanie or Amy with the Historical Society and get scheduled. But for folks in Artesia, your first blood drive opportunity will be on the 4th. They're going to be at Hotel Artesia in the meeting room from 1 to 5:30. For folks in Carlsbad, they're going to be at United Way of Eddy County next Tuesday, the 8th, from 11 to 3:30 at the Boys and Girls Club at 206 East Pecan. For folks in Carlsbad and for folks that would like to go to Hotel Artesia on the 4th here to donate blood, reach out to Stephanie with Vitalant, 575-840-8178. Again, 575-840-8178. And give the gift of life and donate blood. But, it's I'm telling you, I think there's a couple open spots left for the Historical Society. Reach out and get signed up on that one. It's just I know Amy. I mean, donate whenever you can. But if the planets align and the windows work out where next Tuesday is your best bet, you're going to make out like a bandit because that's what Amy does. All right, closing in on 8 o'clock. Time for Town Hall News. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Northeast getting back on its feet this morning following the weekend nor'easter that really slammed coastal areas from New York up through New England. Boston and Cape Cod among the hardest hit. Schools are reopening today. Flights have resumed, and the number of power outages continuing to decline. 2 deaths in New York have been attributed to the storm. Showdown looming at the UN. The U.S. and Russia will make their respective cases today. Security Council meets on the Ukraine crisis.
All key players are expected to square off in public over the possibility of a Russian invasion and its global impact. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield says Russia's actions pose a clear threat to international peace and security and the UN Charter. Council members must, she says, examine the facts and consider what is at stake for Ukraine, for Russia, for Europe. Meanwhile, Russia's deputy ambassador calls the proposed meeting a PR stunt. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The Bengals heading to the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks to face the LA Rams in Los Angeles after the Rams beat the 49ers in the NFC Championship game.
Evan McPherson of the Cincinnati Bengals kicked the game-winning field goal from 31 yards out in overtime for the 27-24 victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow threw 2 TD passes, but kept drives alive in the second half with some critical running plays. The Bengals trailed 21-3 in the first half, but kept the Chiefs out of the end zone for the rest of the game. Cincinnati has advanced to the Super Bowl for the 3rd time in its history. Greg Eklund, Kansas City.
Stocks turning positive now on Wall Street. The Dow is up 8 points. The Nasdaq Composite Index ahead 200 points, and the S&P is better by 21. More on these stories at townhall.com.
So I invested in one of those fancy new exercise bikes. Without a doubt, a very special tool to help me get healthier. The problem is 3 days go by, then 4, and I've done nothing. And then it's night 5, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table, and I look down at myself, and I can't help but just laugh. Because there I am, wearing the exercise t-shirt that came with the bike, and I'm eating 2 corn dogs. And I think we'd all agree, the special tool only matters if we use it to our benefit. At United Faith Mortgage, we believe we have an advantageous tool for you. Our mortgage team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions. There's no middleman. And often, this allows us to get you a better rate on your refinance or new home purchase, which can save you monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Meadow Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Portugal's center-left Socialist Party has won an election, returning to power as the country prepares to deploy billions of dollars of European Union economic aid in the aftermath of the pandemic.
Antonio Costa hailed his resounding win as a victory of confidence and for stability after an election triggered when his second term as Prime Minister was cut short with the defeat of his draft budget for 2022. He plans to lay that same bill before the new Parliament as the means to solidify economic recovery after the pandemic. While the Socialists were the night's biggest victors, handily beating the centre-right Social Democrats, 2 other parties on the right saw a surge in support. Far-right Chega will be the 3rd largest party in Parliament for the first time.
The BBC's Alison Roberts. The French left is running divided and weakened in this year's presidential race, as at least 5 mainstream presidential contenders rejecting any alliance with each other. Townhall.com. in Maryland.
The State Court of Appeals has upheld a man's conviction on a charge of involuntary manslaughter in the death of a worker who was helping him dig tunnels for a nuclear bunker under a home. The court ruled the evidence was sufficient to support Daniel Beckwitz's conviction in the death of 21-year-old Askia Kafra. The appeals court said Beckwitz's failure to provide Kafra with a safe workplace in the tunnels constituted gross negligence. 1 year ago, a lower appeals court had overturned Beckwitz's conviction. Jason Walker reporting.
Manufacturing activity in China's economy grew at a slower pace this month compared to December. The slower growth comes as the country's strict zero-tolerance COVID measures put a damper on economic activity. Again on Wall Street, the Dow trading 8 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I got an analogy that I was thinking in my head earlier, and I think this is a pretty good analogy of the whole Neil Young and Joe Rogan and Spotify thing, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Spotify was McDonald's.
Okay.
All right? Joe Rogan is the Big Mac. Joe Rogan.
I'm thinking, I think he has that on a t-shirt.
He's the Big Mac, right?
Right.
They sell more of those things than probably any other sandwich, I'm guessing, right? In McDonald's.
I would argue like the basic cheeseburger. That he's the basic cheeseburger because, again, he's the best-selling product, but he's also more accessible than, say, the Big Mac. The Big Mac's kind of at that price. And why I'm saying
I think you're starting to overthink my analogy.
Why I'm saying that is because you don't have to pay Spotify Premium in order to get the Joe Rogan show.
Okay.
So you can get it for free. So
all right.
Think about like the basic hamburger or basic cheeseburger.
My point is...
But go ahead.
They're like... Joe Rogan's like the most sold item in McDonald's inventory of sandwiches, right? Neil Young is like the mustard pack they give you for free with the chicken nuggets. And if you ask for more than 2, they charge you 50 cents.
Right.
But that's Neil Young, okay? The honey mustard's mad that the Big Mac's getting all the shine right now, okay? And that's all that's going on here. At the end of the day, if McDonald's loses the honey mustard, no harm, no foul.
Right.
People mad about some chicken nuggets, but that's about it. They'll be like, you know what? I'll just use honey mustard instead of hot mustard or whatever.
But if you take 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and some vaccine theories on a special sesame seed bun off the menu, then maybe, just maybe, people will riot in the streets. I understand where you're coming from.
Spotify is not too worried about the honey mustard complaining about the Big Mac's getting too much shine.
Yeah, they know where their bread's getting buttered. That's fine.
That's all I'm saying.
It's fine. Is that Joni Mitchell, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're fine.
She's the honey pat.
Yeah. She's the honey.
All right, maybe I'll give her barbecue sauce. I don't know.
I was going to say, because, I mean, honey's good. Well, barbecue sauce feels like you're giving her too much credit.
Okay.
I'd lean on a sweet and sour sauce. Yeah. that it's definitely got its fan base, but it's not the hot sauce, the hottest sauce on the menu.
Although I kind of lean, because I'm a sweet and sour connoisseur. I kind of lean. I'm like, you're the buffalo sauce.
See, but that's giving her too much spice.
But less people order the buffalo sauce and the sweet and sour sauce.
That is true.
That's my hunch.
God, I'm hungry. Yeah. We started off before we even started this analogy talking about corn niblets.
By the way, let me tell you this. My wife and I had dinner at La Grande Victoria Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've had their second burger I've had there. I had their La Grande Victoria burger, which if you're a gluttonous fat slob like myself,
right?
Shangri-La. It's literally a pig as condiment for beef hamburger.
Yeah, you always stood by the fact that you like. There's nothing better on your meat than more meat.
This one's got a hot dog, ham, bacon, guacamole, lettuce, tomato, the whole number, and a beef patty somewhere in all that stuff. And a special sauce.
That's maybe the most American thing I've ever heard of.
At a Mexican restaurant.
You know what?
It is delightful.
The only thing that would make that more American is if you topped it with some potato chips. Just threw a handful of Lay's on top.
You know what? They got awesome fries, too. So if you threw a couple fries on there, you'd probably be A-okay. But,
your heart wouldn't. You'd be feeling it.
Once in a while, you'd be all right.
By the way, and this is something it always springs into my head on McDonald's Fridays, so I can never bring it up.
Yeah.
The Whopper and the Impossible Whopper are 2 for $6 right now at Burger King.
Oh.
I'm going to get one of them. We're going to do a side-by-side taste test right here.
Okay. I've not had the Impossible.
We're going to have to record it because I'm going to have to do it. We're going to have to do it around a lunchtime.
I've had one meatless burger, and that was at the Grand Canyon. It was all right. It was Impossible.
Now,
it was Impossible brand.
I've had the Impossible Whopper. I have personally had it. I stand by it. Actually, the girlfriend has had it as well, and she loves it.
Okay.
Because she can't actually have red meat. So that was how I found out. But yeah. We'll
do a side by side.
I think we should definitely do that.
Okay. Not on a Friday.
I would argue even blindfolded.
Yeah.
Because I would venture that maybe we couldn't figure it out.
The other meatless thing I've had that pretends to be meat but isn't is Dunkin' Donuts sausage sandwich,
which they no longer have on the menu.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they took
I had
that off.
It wasn't bad. It tasted all right. It didn't quite have the same mouthfeel as sausage.
See, and sausage is more about the spices than the meat itself.
It was on point flavor wise. It was a little hockey pucky, little stiff. It didn't have the give that meat would. But
I've heard a rumor that McDonald's is working on a Impossible menu item as well.
I bet they're going to get in on it. They always wait till everyone figures it out and then they put out a good one.
Yeah,
is what they do. They let everyone else experiment and then they just come out with something good. The one that I want to try now that I ain't going to lie has got me hook, line, and sinker. I just haven't pulled the trigger. Is KFC.
I've seen a lot of reviews for those nuggets, man.
I've seen KFC's got meatless chicken, and it's like just big hunks of boneless chicken. I guess that's not chicken.
I've had a lot of people say that the flavor game is on point, but it's very spongy in texture.
Okay,
I want to go. See, I wanted to go in raw, like not having heard opinions, but it was
it's too hard.
Yeah, it's next to impossible.
But
on social media.
I want to put it on my radar because I do love me some fried chicken. And if they can make fake fried chicken that tastes like fried chicken, I want to see. I want to see what's going on there. So yes, I'm down. So I would like to maybe even add, we could do a 2 for $6.
Fat Tuesday has to be coming up here pretty soon. I feel like maybe we should do like a meatless Fat Tuesday. Here on the
just try
show.
these various meatless things and see what we think of them. I'm down.
Yeah, plant fat-based Fat Tuesday.
Yeah,
because nobody said this stuff is better for you.
Yeah.
It's just made of plants.
One other thing, speaking of meatless, that I want to put on your radar at La Grande Victoria. I've had that burger and I had the mushroom Swiss the other day. Both were on point, delicious.
Right.
I've had their stuffed sopapillas that were very good, and that's it. I've tried. I want to try breakfast.
I've had their tortas and they're on point as well.
Yeah. And my wife had their combo plate one time that she loved that too. But I went and got an appetizer. They're corn nuggets and fries.
Which, that makes me happy.
And the corn nuggets were delicious. It's like a tater tot with corn in it.
The reason that they're bigger. They're a
little bigger. But
the reason that makes me happy is I don't remember where I've had them. And I think it was in school. I don't remember if it was in school or if it was like at a random Allsup somewhere. But I've had corn nuggets before. Niblets is what they were called.
Yeah.
And they're amazing. They're like the best thing on the planet.
Well, they've got an appetizer, which you can make a meal in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Corn nuggets and fries. By the way, their fries are great.
Mm-hmm.
They're double fried or something, and I don't eat them with ketchup. I just ate I ate like a pound of them Saturday,
right?
And not one dip of ketchup. You know what I did dip one in though is their salsa, which just because I wanted to is good. By the way, I bought a giant jar of their salsa too while I was there. So,
really?
So I literally have a jar this big of their salsa that I bought
You're
on
a fan?
Saturday. I haven't opened it up yet, but if it's like the salsa I had at the restaurant, then yeah, I'm a fan.
Nice.
But yeah, I got a
You're
big
here
old
first,
jar.
folks. A white guy from the East Coast approves of Love Grand Victoria salsa.
I don't know if that's a selling.
That's a ringing endorsement.
I don't know because they might. That guy don't know what he's tasting.
Oh, Captain Bland Jowls over here.
I like
when he has himself a peanut butter or a bread and butter and mustard or a mayonnaise sandwich. He likes a nice dip of Grand Victoria salsa.
In all fairness, yes, you're right. I grew up in Maryland eating fish, and what do I know about? I have been living.
You're naturalized.
I've been living in Roswell, New Mexico for 20 plus years. I've been in the state of New Mexico since 1997.
Yeah.
I've been indoctrinated enough in New Mexico cuisine that my palate has been adjusted to what's hot and what's not.
That's
and
true.
What's like, just for instance, what was I eating yesterday that I was like, hey, this is actually hot for something that shouldn't be hot, or that's like mass market hot,
Right.
and I don't remember what it was, but it was something like that.
I'm curious to try that Diablo sandwich they have over at the Arabies.
Oh,
People
yeah.
are saying it's like next to impossible to eat without the milkshake they give with it.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
I think we can do that. There are a lot of food challenges right now. It's weird. I feel like I'm being constantly challenged by food.
Me too. I don't know.
Is this what your 40s is like?
Lately, I feel like the food's winning, but just to be honest.
But you're putting up a good fight.
We're going to play our interview we had with Damon Graham from Leadership Roswell Alumni Association on Friday, talking about the LRAA Municipal Candidate Forum happening tomorrow evening at the Pueblo Auditorium. We'll give you all the skinny during the interview here, but we're going to play that for you here in just a few. Before we do that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather. There's talk of snow coming. It's coming, Here it is.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got some colder temperatures on the way by Wednesday and maybe even a little bit of snow, rain, and freezing rain. In the meantime, nice today. Sunshine and our high will be in the upper 60s. Overnight, clouds and down to about 30 and then upper 50s with a few more clouds and breezy conditions on Tuesday. A chance of snow Wednesday morning, rain in the afternoon and low 40s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 34 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 59%. Winds are calm at the moment. Nice day today. Sunny skies, highs in the upper 60s, 68 officially. Winds will be out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sorry about that. Hiccups. Tonight, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 31. Winds will be out of the southwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy, 57 for a high tomorrow with north winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, so we'll be a little breezy tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy or mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 29 degrees, northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Wednesday, Thursday, that's when our moisture chances hit. We'll see a mix of rain and snow probably Wednesday. They're talking a chance of snow before 11, then a rain-snow mix after that on Wednesday. Mostly cloudy for the day. Highs expected to reach 42 degrees with east winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation on Wednesday is at 60%. Wednesday night, we're looking at a 70% chance of snow, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 16. Thursday, we're looking at a 30% chance of snow showers, partly cloudy with a high of 25. I went on my little phone app for AccuWeather and checked out this stuff on there, and this is what they were telling me as far as totals and things. Wednesday, we'll see more rain than snow. We probably won't get much in the form of accumulating snow Wednesday during the day. Wednesday night, overnight, we'll probably get 1.5 inches is what they were calling for. And then on Thursday, another 0.8 of an inch there. So after all said and done by Thursday, we're probably going to look at about 2 inches of snow is what at least that's what the AccuWeather is saying this morning. Could that change? You betcha. But as of right now, it looks like between Wednesday night and Thursday, we'll get about 2 inches of snow with some rain leading into that Wednesday during the day. Maybe some snow flurries and stuff on Wednesday morning, but they don't talk about much accumulation for us until Wednesday night into Thursday. So that's at least what I read. We'll see how that shapes up later. Look at a 30% chance of snow Thursday. Thursday night, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 6. Yeah, it's going to be freezing Thursday night and Friday night. Mostly sunny with a high of only 32 on Friday, so it ain't going to get up. We'll get to about freezing. Saturday, we're looking at an overnight low, Saturday during the day, a high of 43. An overnight low of 18 Saturday night, and then Sunday a high of 47. But yeah, 6 for an overnight low Thursday night, 9 for an overnight low Friday night. So those are going to be just frigid. All right, it is 8:19. Let's go ahead and take about a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then on the other side of the break, our interview with Damon Graham from the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, talking all about the Municipal Candidate Forum happening tomorrow at the Pueblo Auditorium. That's on the other side. Don't go away.
Nook's Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to you with new winter hours. The restaurant is now open 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and the store 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day. Be sure to get your last order in by 6:30 p.m. Delicious, authentic dishes, including a variety of Thai noodle soups, dried egg noodles, dumplings, and more, served at your table or to go. While you wait, browse the store with lots of fresh new ingredients like galunga, lemongrass, lime leaf, and Thai chili. Nook's Asian Market, South Main, Roswell.
Decor of Carlsbad has easy financing with no credit check. And right now, save big on furniture for your home during the inventory clearance sale. Find one-of-a-kind, discount, and overstock furniture ready for pickup. Bring your truck, bring your trailer, and have it home today. Dinettes, sofas, recliners, sectionals. Save big during the inventory clearance and tax refund sale where it's all ready to go at Decor of Carlsbad on the corner of Mermod and Mesa.
It's time to stock up on beef. Do it the most affordable way by buying a whole or half beef from Runyon Cattle. A whole beef feeds a family of 4 for nearly a year. Buy your meat in bulk for about $6 a pound. Skip the store and skip the wait lines. Beef isn't something that you should have to wait on. Stock up on New Mexico homegrown grass-fed and grass-finished beef today by calling Lisa with Runyon Cattle at 760-5655. That's 760-5655. Delivered to your home freezer.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor and a PTO Quick Connect that hooks up rear implements with a single click. John runs with us because to him, there's nothing more important than connecting with the land. Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear John's story at Deere.com.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and KSVPTV.com invite you to attend the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association Candidate Forum for the 2022 Roswell Municipal Election. The event will take place Tuesday, February 1st, 6 p.m. at the Pueblo Auditorium. If you can't attend in person, be sure and listen to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM or watch online, KSVPTV.com or KSVPTV on YouTube.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
Good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, man of many hats, but that's the one he's wearing today, Damon Graham back with us. Morning, Damon.
Good morning, Mike.
How you doing today?
I am blessed at every turn.
Good. How's the new year treating you?
Very well. Very well. Everything's going
Family's
fast
doing
and
well. Business going good. Everything's doing
Business
well.
is great. Family is great. We just had our second round of COVID run through the house, and it attacked half of us and left half of us alone. So, it's just, it is what it is.
But everybody fared well through it.
Oh, yeah.
Colds mostly and things like that.
It was
good.
All good.
Of course, if you need help with financial planning through New York Life, Damon can help you out with any of that stuff. So
most definitely.
Definitely reach out if you're, I know at this time of year, people tend to assess life things, and this is usually a good time to do that.
Tax season.
So look up Matt Damon Graham.
Matt does the legal side. Now, come on.
I almost called you Matt Damon. That's what I was going.
Okay. Well,
I was about to call you Matt Damon.
I wished I had his financial issues.
That's what I was about to say. Is Matt Damon is David Graham. That's sorry.
That's okay. That's all right.
That should be your acting name. Like go and do it to play or something and say Matt Damon Graham. That should be your stage name.
Change my middle name. Yeah, there you go. That would work. Maybe they'd just throw money at me.
But David could definitely help you with all that, even if you call him Matt Damon.
Yeah. I've been called worse.
For folks that don't know, we actually had Rick and Patrick join us, I believe Monday of this week, talking a little bit about this. But next Tuesday, February 1st, is the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association is hosting a municipal candidate forum. And in case you don't know, the next day, February 2nd, is the start of early voting for the municipal election. So you can literally go to the event on Tuesday and then wake up the next day and go head to the clerk's office and get your vote in while it's fresh. But you don't have to, but I'm saying you could. But I want to highly recommend everyone, if you can attend the event, that would be preferable. But if you're not available, we will be carrying it right here on the radio and audio only, obviously. And then we'll be carrying live streaming video at ksvptv.com, which will be available on demand afterwards. So if you're, but I always want to encourage people, if you have the time and available, be in the audience at the Pueblo here because you see everything. The video can only bring you so much. Camera angles are so wide, things are so. If you're in the room, you're seeing, smelling, hearing everything. Reactions to people in the audience, reactions of other people running for office there, and you get all that. Where sometimes you miss some of that if you're not in the room, watching on TV or.
It does make a difference. It really does because then you can see like you said, you see the reactions of the other candidates.
Yeah.
When who they're running against answers a question and they're going, wait a minute. And you can see the stunned look on their face or the look of, yeah, right.
Yeah, people's indications aren't always what comes out of their mouth.
Right.
It's how they react, how, if they see a response and someone says something, the other person finds it ridiculous, they might roll their eyes or, do a audible sigh or something. And you kind of miss that on video sometimes. And now, if you're unavailable and got to work or got, soccer practice or whatever 100 things that happen in our lives, we will be carrying it live, but you can also catch it on demand too. So if you're going to do the full effect is go there, be there on Tuesday. And then any parts, like if your ward or mayoral, you can go back and watch them and for any parts you missed or if you want to just rehear an answer or did I hear what I thought I heard that person say? And then you can go back and check it out. That's probably the best way to do that.
Certainly. And the uniqueness of this, Mike, is, and I know you've been involved with it for several years, but it's a forum format.
Yes,
it's not a debate.
It's not. This isn't a got you. Let's see how charming, witty, and charismatic in an argument or a debate setting is to show you that. That's not what the point of this. Each person has. They're not technically talking to each other, but like they would be in a debate. They're going to get questions. Might be the same, might be a different question, and they get an opportunity to answer it, and that's how it is. And they get X amount of time, and it's not like a debate format where then now the other candidate gets to respond to that question. They get their own, they get their own question, and it may be the same one, it may not be, just depending on the flow of the night there, but and I would say this too. Were you involved with the question committee, or was that some other folks?
No, I was.
Okay. Obviously, we're not going to ask you to ask the questions. They're going to, but I wouldn't mind if you would explain the process in which you guys come up with questions and talk about where you go, how. What's the thought process? What's the kind of the marching orders on how you guys came up with these questions?
It's unique, or I think it's unique, because all the questions are formulated. We've got a committee that gathers together, and we try to make them as centralized on the race itself. But then we don't try. I mean, we're not trying to destroy a candidate or anything like that. We're trying to pull the information out of the candidates to make sure that those that are watching, those that care, can get the information from them and figure out where they stand on issues or who they are in general.
Sure.
Because a lot of times, you see the campaign ads, you see the posters and everything like that, and you formulate an idea about somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But then you don't know really who that is.
Sure.
And the forum is designed to try to personalize it, get an idea of who they are behind the scenes and who the person is.
Absolutely.
And the question format is nobody knows. I mean, and this has been presumed in the past that the candidate knew the question, which is absurd.
Absolutely
There
untrue.
is no way that a candidate would know the question.
I'm telling you right now, the only people that know the questions they're going to be asked on Tuesday night are the committee that put them together and maybe Rick Kraft at this point.
Yep.
And that's about it.
And the way that we do it is when we get together, we formulate the questions, and everything stays in that room.
Mm-hmm.
It does not. I mean, we even on the committee, we don't walk out with the list of questions. It's
in a secure location.
Yes.
That's gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So there's no way that anybody could know ahead of time what the questions are going to be.
And I've served on that committee in the past, and it, true to form, it was done the exact same way. And now I would also tell you too, it's like you said, when you're gathering the input and stuff, you guys reach out to the public on this stuff and say, hey, where do you want to hear? Shoot us thing. And matter of fact, when you come on Tuesday night, if you get there at 5:30, the actual thing will start at 6. And I'll get you all the pertinent details here in a bit, but get there at 5:30. The candidates can come early, set up booths, and you can come and ask them your questions or speak to them one-on-one. But you also have an opportunity if you want to submit a question for the event. I'm not guaranteeing it will be used, but it may come into play here if Rick, when he's moderating, deems that maybe that's a good question to use right now.
And that's unique this year.
Okay. Yes.
They've never done that in the past, and we've been the Alumni Association has been doing the forum for
long as I can remember.
Well, I think Rick made the comment that it was, I want to say 30. Yeah.
See,
30 years.
I can't remember longer than 30 years.
Yeah,
So.
I'm like pulling that one out of the back of my brain. But this is the first time that we've opened it up and said, hey, let's try this.
Yeah.
Now, so if you do have a specific question, you can submit it. And like Mike said, there's no guarantee that it's going to get asked.
Sure.
It's going to be, scrubbed.
Yeah.
Because, like it's not a debate. We're not trying to, demoralize.
Yeah,
a
you're not
candidate.
upsetting people up for
we're not-
failure or
no.
success. You're just trying to get information to people.
So if it's a legit, worthwhile question, it may get asked.
Or if it's a voluminous, like we had multiple people ask this same question or some style of it that at least tells Rick when he's moderating, saying, you know what, people want to know about this subject. We need to address it some way, shape, or form.
Definitely.
And so even if it's not word for word your question, maybe it's in the vein of what you're asking about, because there's a lot more people other than you curious about that particular subject. Right. So that's really how what these questions will do and serve. So it really gives the public an opportunity to give some input in here as well. But if you really have poignant questions, you're like, I want to know X about X, get there early. I'm pretty sure, if not all the candidates, most of them are agreeing you're going to set up a little table and maybe have some literature and stuff for you. And if you want to ask them or talk to them one-on-one about their campaigns, that's being offered to everybody. So get here early for that, and that way you can answer those questions or ask those during that time.
Certainly. And it's unique this year. We've got 17 candidates.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So it's going to be there is a very wide spectrum of questions, and it's going to be jam-packed. Trying to get it done in a timely fashion.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's going to be a lengthy night, weighty night, but it's going to be a lot of good information, and we're going to try to get as much packed into that time as possible.
And we've got 15 of the 17 with a hard confirmation. 2 were, they confirmed, but they said, we may not be able to make it. So, but if we have all 17, that's huge.
Sure. And every race, with the exception of Ward 5 and City Council, is an opposition. There's at least 2 candidates. I know Angela Moore's been offered an opportunity to speak, even though she's running unopposed.
Right.
I'm not sure if she's accepted or not or whatever, but she may or may not be there to talk.
Right.
But the rest will have an actual
opposition.
forum here.
Yes.
But if she so desires to come out on Tuesday, we'll give her a couple minutes to address the crowd and,
Yes.
and say what she feels she wants to tell everybody.
Yes.
So.
And coming early definitely has its benefits because the candidates are supposed to be there early, setting up, and they're each going to have a some room to set out some paraphernalia, the whatever they want to put out there,
promotional materials, whatever.
and they'll be there, like Mike said, to answer some questions. If so coming out early, getting a good seat, visiting with them, it's going to be good.
Absolutely. Now, just to remind folks here, we've got 4 candidates for mayor, so that's going to take some time. And then each ward we're going to be covering. Ward 1 is that 3 candidates?
I believe so.
Ward 2 has 3 candidates, I think. Ward 3, I think, has 2 candidates. Ward 4 is like 5 candidates.
Yes.
And then Ward 5 has the incumbent running for re-election. So we got a lot of ground to cover here. But I would invite you, especially since they just did redistricting here. If you're unfamiliar or not, quite fuzzy on what ward you're supposed to be voting in now, don't hesitate to reach out 2 different directions. You can always contact the city clerk's office. They'd be happy to give you that information. But if you go to the City of Roswell's website, roswell-nm.gov, they've got the district maps there. They've got all that information, so you can find out what ward you're in, which ward you're voting in, and that way you can pay a little bit closer attention to that particular forum. Obviously, if you live in Ward 4, you're not going to be as interested in what's going on in Ward 3 or 2 as far as that race goes.
Right.
But that way you can kind of pay a little more attention, do a little bit more due diligence on the races that you actually have a vote in. So.
I think it's interesting. I've been involved with it since 2015, and I think one of the most unique aspects is you actually get to see the candidates unscripted.
Yeah.
And that makes, to me, that speaks volumes about that individual.
Absolutely.
Because anybody can, rehearse a commercial over and over and over and over and over and make it sound decent.
Yeah.
Or they can stand in front of a poster and take a picture.
Right.
But when you get up there and you're asked a pointed question that you had no idea what the question was going to be, and you've got to formulate that answer and articulate it, that to me speaks volumes about somebody.
You learn their work ethic, you learn their knowledge, you learn a lot of stuff. And you're right, because anytime you say you go to a candidate's website or their social media or anything they're putting out, you're going to see them at their best. They're not going to put out something that makes them look stupid or whatever. So you're right. Yeah, you're going to see the polished version of that person. In that forum, obviously they're going to come polished and come, presentable and everything. Yeah, that's the idea. But you're right. They don't know the questions. They don't know they can it's just like a debate. You see when presidential debates and things, you always hear they're practicing for weeks leading up to the event, and that's because they're trying to throw every curveball question that they might come across during that debate. Well, they're going to have to prepare somewhat for that, but they don't know. And they don't know. Damon and the group, they may think one area is important and can start working there, where the candidate was like, I thought they were going to ask me about crime. And they went this direction about infrastructure or whatever. It's just and so they got to be the candidate. And this is where, being a candidate, you're going to have positions on these. And forums like this find out real quick, have people invested time and energy in thinking about these problems and addressing them? Or are they just looking to get elected and we'll worry about it later? And that's that I think candidate forums do an excellent job of separating the people that know what they're doing and want to fix some changes versus folks that are just running either for an emotional reason or whatever that is,
And it's commendable that they're running it all, because it takes a lot to step out there and put yourself into, society as a whole.
Yeah,
you put a target on your back.
Yeah, you're a lightning rod. You're a paper target. Yep.
It's commendable, but it also there's a difference between, like you said, running for, the betterment of society, the betterment of your community, making a change, or you're running just cause.
Yeah. You're mad at something or whatever, which I mean, I'm not saying there's something wrong with that if that's what got you there to the first place, but that only is 1/10 of the battle. Right. Having a desire is a big part, but you got to have the tools to do to make the match the desire behind that, and that's where the candidate forum. I think no other real avenue can really give you that kind of exposure. I mean, I'll tell you, the paper does a great job with their interviews and their questions. I like to say I do all right here, one-on-one with the candidates when I talk to them here in the thing, but we can't replicate what's going on at the forum there.
Because it's all impromptu.
Yeah, and so use all those tools in your tool belt. Read the paper, read those interviews. Please listen and watch my interviews. But that forum will use that as the glue to put all that together and formulate your opinion on all this stuff. So,
and I don't think in my mind, there hasn't been a time that we need solid leadership in all of these roles, because there are so many things that come up now and during the pandemic and the aftermath of, and what we're still going through, and all the decisions that need to be made. I mean, not just, the school board was, huge in that election.
Yeah.
And the city council and the mayor. I mean, they have the power to determine what direction we're going to go.
Absolutely.
And, what decisions need to be made to make it through all this craziness.
I say this every time we talk about local elections here. The decisions you make at a municipal election level are going to impact your life much greater than a presidential election will be. And I'm not saying presidential elections are important. Please vote, do that. But in all honesty, we do more due diligence on national elections than we do in our own backyard.
Right.
And more damage can be done by the people in your own backyard than the president can be as far as impacting your day-to-day life. And therefore, I'm not saying reverse the logic, but you need to put as much, if not more, due diligence in your research of local candidates that you do for, say, president or governor or any other more national or state level race here.
I think a lot of it is, it's crawl, walk, run. You're crawling at the local level, but it has such an impact on your way of life.
Absolutely.
Your kids, your family.
Well,
then you've got to go one step further, because if you see the impact that you can have locally, then you take that one more step and say, okay, now let's do the state level.
Yeah.
And let's be involved in that.
Absolutely.
Let's make sure we understand what the issues are, what's going to be covered, what's.
Well, think about the things you in your day-to-day life, complain about or whatever it is. It's, why is my sidewalk this way? Why is the light down the end of the street out? Why is, it's things like that. That's the stuff that gets you day in, day out. And to be honest, the people that you're going to be hearing from next Tuesday, these are the people that affect those changes and impact what happens in those scenarios. Or, man, we don't have enough jobs in this town. Why is that? Or vice versa. Whatever it is, these are the people that make those decisions. Your city council and your mayor. Those are the ones that, along with on the county side, county commissioners and everything else. But this municipal election, those people you're voting for, those city councilors, those judges, those mayors, they are the ones that are going to really affect positively or negatively your kind of day-to-day and what's going on and those little minutia things of life. It's like, and to be honest, most of the stuff you don't care about till it's not there. You know what I mean? It's like your toilet flushes, you're fine. The day your toilet don't flush or you go to turn on the sink to fill up a pot of water and you're not, all of a sudden you really care about who your city councilors are, who your mayor is,
And you hit on it right there. You usually don't care until there's a problem or you have something that you want to gripe about.
Exactly.
And then it's too late.
Exactly.
Until the next election.
So now go where you know what you're standing. See what the people and I love the fact that there's so many candidates running in these various races. That's a good thing.
Yes.
That means people care about our community. People are getting involved. People are stepping up. It's amazing. So regardless of what you think of each of the candidates that are running for this election, tip of the cap, like Damon said earlier, is every one of these people are caring about our community and are saying, you know what, I care enough where I'm going to put myself out here and willing to make a difference. So a tip of the cap to every single, even if you don't agree with them, we respect and say, you know what, I at least like your gumption, the fact that you want to do something, and please go into Tuesday night remembering that. I think if you because I know it's easy to you get your person, and then it's like sports or anything else. It's like it's go till we root for them until and so we don't care what bridges we burn in the meantime sometimes, and. Which that probably works A-okay in a presidential election because that's the volatility of that is. But it's really hard to do some of that when the next day you might be going to get some meat at the store and you see that person at the deli getting some turkey with you and you're like, you know what I mean? It's different.
Yeah, it is.
So, go in there with that open mind. Just kind of, listen to what these candidates have to say. And read between the lines on some of this stuff. That's my advice to you because they're all going to have they're all, if any of these candidates have any kind of experience at all, they're going to be thinking about and trying to prepare answers that they think are going to be addressed. That's human nature to prepare for these things. But that's why reading in between the lines on some of this stuff is important. Like they may have a prepared answer for something, but what happens right before and after that, or what is said in between there that you're like, oh, well, maybe he's saying something that's lip service, or she's saying something that's lip service, but I can tell just in the way and then they're saying it that maybe that's not their true intentions or true understanding of something. And that's where a forum does an amazing job. You got to play a little detective. I'm not going to lie. If you're a studier of people, you've got a full-on challenge for you on Tuesday because that's really it is. You're studying these folks, listening what they have to say, try to discern what you think is legit versus what's lip service, and then base those decisions on that.
And it's interesting to see the spectrum of people that are up there. I know quite a few of them.
Yeah, and it's small town, man.
The personalities vary hugely.
Yeah,
I mean, and one thing that I want to, I was heavily involved with the forum that we had in 2018, and it was at Pueblo as well. And that year we had a fourth of everybody that voted in that election showed up to the forum.
That's great.
I don't have the numbers for last year, but I knew those off the top of my head. I was like, we had almost a fourth of everybody that voted in that, which is sad in one regard, great because it was one of our best forums ever.
Sure.
But it's kind of sad when you stop and figure the numbers are that low.
The small percentage of our community that actually goes out and votes.
It is. It's a very small percentage. Mm-hmm. Some of these wards are decided by a handful of votes.
And I'm not trying to separate or anything out, but Ward 5, historically, they have the lowest turnout in numbers. And like you just said, literally someone's won that election by 3 votes, 5 votes, something like that. Because, literally, I've seen city council races where, maybe 200 people total voted in Ward 5. And the final result was, 102 to 97 or something like that. It's really
ridiculous.
Close. Yeah. Numbers are a little bit, Ward 2's kind of gets in the thousands in there. I don't know if that's going to change a little with the redistricting here, but...
It'll be interesting to find out. But the low voter turnout is, it's sad.
It is.
When you stop and figure that, and a lot of people, it's an apathetic look at it. They're like, oh, my vote doesn't count. Yes, it does.
Absolutely.
And if you want to, an old adage, if you didn't vote, you have no room to complain.
I've always said that. You Facebook warriors on there that like to take pot shots at everything and anything, great. God bless you. But what are you doing it really about it other than taking shots? Are you voting? Are you investigating some of these committees and signing up and asking about volunteers on these? What are you doing other than just pontificating on Facebook about it? And I'm not telling you have to get involved in everything, but if you're one of those people and the last thing you didn't do was vote, or vote educated. I don't even it's not even so much voting. go in there and I don't care who you vote for.
It's
I really
not
don't.
name recognition.
I really don't care. What I care about is you go in there and you vote with, and I say, why did you vote for that person? And you have an answer for me.
Exactly.
That's what I want to know. I don't care that, and I don't want the answer to be they had cool signs.
Right.
Or I don't know, they look pretty smart on TV.
I've heard that name so many times.
Yeah.
That I just name recognition.
Yeah.
No, you need to have reasoning behind it.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm completely cool with whatever you vote for, as long as you have a reason that's something other than I like their shirt.
Yeah, I mean, and education to me is pivotal in every situation.
Yeah,
I mean, in my work.
Yeah,
educating, knowing the products and services, our schools, But if you walk in and you're casting your vote, which is a right that could easily be taken away.
Many people have gave their ultimate sacrifice so you can do that.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. Yep.
And you waste it because you thought they had a cool shirt or the name recognition, or I thought they'd be cool. What did you didn't think because you didn't investigate.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're that. And then you got to reap what you sow, because we got to be honest. And then you're later saying this guy's an idiot. It's like, well, how did the idiot get there?
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I know we're pushing time, but I did want to take a second, Mike, and kind of toot the horn of Leadership Roswell Alumni Association.
Absolutely. Let's do, because they, Candidate Forum, there's two things that really are in the public eye for Leadership Roswell. One is this candidate forum. The other, which will be coming up here in March. Is the Teen Leadership Program they partner with the NMMI on. Those are two tentpole events, and they're both amazing events, but we are a little bit more than those two events, too.
Yeah, but those two are kind of the cornerstones. And the third, the annual banquet, where we recognize community leaders. But these two, the candidate forum and the teen leadership, they really reach out there, and I think they're cornerstones in what our organization is.
Absolutely.
And everything is done volunteer. All the committees that put the questions together, that organize everything at the location, all the way down to we want to tip our hat to KSVP and the radio, because they step out there and they do this, and it's community activism, which I also want to step out there and say thank you to them throughout the pandemic. Everything that KSVP did for our local schools, and that included Carlsbad, Hobbs, Artesia, Roswell.
Our video crews were all over the place.
Oh my gosh, they did such a fabulous job.
Well, thank you. You're absolutely right. I tip the hat to Tanner and all those guys. They were doing a lot of stuff during the pandemic here, and still do.
They did a phenomenal job, because everything had to be remote, had to be no touch, everything, and they did a great job. And they've done a great job helping us with the forum and all the volunteers through Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, which if you like what you see, and this is the first experience that you've had with it, Leadership Roswell is the first step.
Absolutely.
Go through the program, contact the chamber, contact one of the alumni, and get involved that way, and then you can step into the alumni association.
If you have any desire of making an impact in our community, whether it's being through a business leader or a community leader through nonprofit or political, Leadership Roswell is one of the first things you should be checking out, because
certainly
it builds the leadership skills. That part, it's in the title. Teaching how to be effective leaders, putting you in scenarios and situations of leadership roles and things, maybe giving people that maybe haven't had the experience there some of that. But the other side of the Leadership Roswell program is that connection side, learning about your community, learning about the people in your community, learning about what the people in your community do, learn about how the people in your community do it. And that's also very much part of Leadership Roswell. And those two, if you understand kind of how the sausage is made, then you can really understand why we do what we do. Yep. And Leadership Roswell does an amazing job Rick and the staff and the alumni and obviously the community leaders and businesses and all those people we partner with to make these things happen. It's a lot of moving parts, but it is an amazing program. And so here in the summer, look for July timeframes. We're going to get heavy here. But if you're interested in becoming a part of the next class, the 2022 class or 2023, I don't know what number they call it. Right. Class of Leadership Roswell.
The next one.
The next class that will start up here. We got a class going through now. They're going to wrap up here around May. Assuming no more COVID-related goofiness.
Right.
But and then we'll start right up here. But it's a class of 30, and it is. I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of people that don't make it first time because they're only 30, and we a lot of times sometimes get 40, 50, 60 qualified people. All 60 of them should be in the class, but we only got room for 30. So please apply. If you don't get in the first time, you actually get more weight the next year. So we want to encourage you. So if you applied last year or year before and you didn't make it, please reapply this next upcoming time. You're going to get a little bit more weight because you've applied before. And they say, well, they keep applying. That clearly there is a desire to be a part of this. We want to get them that opportunity.
Certainly.
It's just a numbers game sometimes, and that's what happens. So please keep applying and increase your odds. And then I'm telling you, once you get in, you're going to, I don't care what level of experience you have in this community, whether you've been born and raised here, know everything, or you just showed up a month ago, or somewhere in between. You're going to gain something out of this. You're going to gain, even if you think you've lived here and know everything, anything, you're going to meet and see things that you probably have never done before. Like, just for instance, if you've never gone to jail, you're going to get a chance to see the jail.
Exactly, and it is an eye opener.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
if you've never been in one,
it's a different world. And it's not like watching TV and thinking it's somebody with bars and you sit there and I need my phone call. It's a lot more than that. Yeah. How a jail? That's our Hollywood version of jail, but it's a much more fluid.
You see
machine.
The law enforcement side, the judicial side, the education side. I mean, small business. It really opens the eyes at a local level for.
Absolutely, you understand why things are done the way they're done. And if you question things and you're like, that doesn't make sense. Well, now you see it and you're like, oh, that's why they do it that way.
And then it gives after you go through the class, then you have the opportunity to participate in the Alumni Association, which there we get to put together the candidate forum. We get to do the teen leadership. We get to do the annual banquet. We get to do all those fun things and the fundraising to go along with it.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, once you graduate, that's just the start of the journey. Yeah, now you're putting into practice all the things you've learned here in your business lives, your community lives, and hopefully sticking around through us through Leadership Roswell alumni and helping the community that way as well. We're always looking. So if you're a graduate of Leadership Roswell, I don't care if it was 30 years ago or this last year. And you want to get involved in the community, we'd love to have you come join our fold, serve on the board or serve on some of our committees. Or just be the muscle for some of our events and things and helping out and doing being the bodies there to help make things happen.
It takes a lot. I mean, with the candidate forum, there's a lot of moving parts, and many hands make light work.
Absolutely, and I know we got a lot of alumni. We got 30 years of this, 30 plus. And another thing, I don't know about this particular class of candidates, but I bet there's a huge percentage of them that call Leadership Roswell something that they've been a part of in their past at some point.
Rick spouted it off the other day, and I don't remember the number.
Yeah,
but it was ridiculous.
It is.
I thought that is huge because it was like 3/4 of all the candidates running have been through the program, and I may be wrong on the number, but it was huge.
Yeah,
and I was like, that speaks volumes.
It absolutely does.
Because that means that the program is having an impact on people, which the people are having an impact on the community.
Absolutely.
And that's the whole bottom line.
Absolutely. So I just saw time. We really got to go here. But folks, next Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. is when the candidates and everything are going to be able to set up tables and everything. 6 p.m. will be and it's going to be a hard start for the forum here. Yep. It's going to be at the Pueblo Auditorium at the Roswell Independent School District Admin Building there. They got that beautiful old theater in there. Seats about 400 or so.
I think so.
Come on out. doesn't cost anything. Doesn't if you need a little incentive, you can win some great door prizes you can sign up for. I think there might be some snacks and things. It's people gathering. There's always seems to be food showing up somewhere at some point. But come on out. Get there early, talk to the candidates, meet with the candidates, and then at 6 p.m. get you a good seat and sit back and relax and enjoy the forum and take in all the information that's going to be thrown at you fast and furious on Tuesday night.
Yep, without a doubt.
And again, ksvptv.com. We'll have I don't think it's set up yet, but come Tuesday, you'll see a channel for the Municipal Candidate Forum. You just click on that. It'll take you right there. It'll be available live. It'll be available on demand. We'll kick our radio coverage promptly at 6 p.m. here on Tuesday as well, too. So that's where I'll be. I'll be the guy doing the radio stuff.
There you go. Good deal.
Thank you, Damon.
No,
or Matt Damon. Matt Damon Graham.
There you go. Hey, that's what it takes.
They inspired the Martians based on Matt Damon Graham.
I like it.
He scienced the feces out of it. Thank you, David. We'll see you later. Sorry, that was one of my funny lines from The Martian.
There you go. Yep.
Thanks, David.
Kintai out of office.
Isn't that the truth? Roswell can do so much better than Kintai.
You think? On his watch, fees went up everywhere. At the adult center, at the zoo, even at the veteran cemetery.
Not to mention the murder rate has more than doubled the past 4 years. And Kintai proposed that $35 million public safety complex with no plan and no land. Thank goodness we rejected that boondoggle.
Well, luckily, Tim Jennings is running for Roswell mayor.
That's right. Tim's the man for the job.
Tim Jennings is a leader. He served Roswell honorably in the state senate and delivered.
He'll keep taxes and fees low and fight crime by putting more officers on the streets.
Mayor Tim Jennings. I like the sound of that.
Honey, I'm putting Vote for Tim on the calendar for March 1st.
It's a date.
Paid for by Tim Jennings for mayor.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM. KEND Roswell.
Fears of an imminent Russian invasion of its neighbor. The U.S. pushed for the meeting, which UN Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield says grows out of serious concern for Ukraine's future or the country's peace and security. However, Russia is dismissing the meeting at the UN as a mere PR stunt, even as the Kremlin has more than 100,000 troops massed on Russia's border with Ukraine. More than 3/4 of Americans want President Biden to consider all potential nominees to replace outgoing Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer. This, according to a recent ABC News Ipsos poll.
The poll comes after President Biden said Thursday that he will announce his nominee before the end of February and that the candidate will be a black woman. Among Democrats, 54% supported considering all nominees regardless of race and gender. Just 23% of those polled wanted Mr. Biden to restrict his list of nominees to black women. The poll, which was conducted January 28th and 29th with Ipsos Public Affairs Knowledge Panel among a random national sample of 510 adults, also found that 43% believe the Supreme Court is partisan and that justices rule, quote, on the basis of their partisan political views. Bernie Bennett reporting.
In the Northeast this morning, whole lot of scraping going on, scraping ice and shoveling snow. Following the weekend nor'easter, it dumped massive amounts of snow along the coast from New Jersey all the way up into New England, with Boston and Cape Cod really getting slammed by that nor'easter. On Wall Street this hour, stocks in positive territory after a mixed open this morning. Right now, the Dow is up about 33 points. The NASDAQ Composite Index ahead 282 points, to gain of just over 2%. And the S&P better by 36. More on these stories, townhall.com.
So I invested in one of those fancy new exercise bikes. Without a doubt, a very special tool to help me get healthier. The problem is 3 days go by, then 4, and I've done nothing. And then it's night 5, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table, and I look down at myself, and I can't help but just laugh. Because there I am, wearing the exercise t-shirt that came with the bike, and I'm eating 2 corn dogs. And I think we'd all agree, the special tool only matters if we use it to our benefit. At United Faith Mortgage, we believe we have an advantageous tool for you. Our mortgage team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions. There's no middleman, and often this allows us to get you a better rate on your refinance or new home purchase, which can save you monthly and lifelong money. We or United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Meadow Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Following protests of Spotify stemming from discussion of COVID vaccines on the streaming service, Spotify now says it will add content advisories ahead of podcasts that talk about the virus.
Share prices in Spotify have fallen the last few days. They've lost subscribers, and hashtag cancel Spotify has been trending on social media. Well, its chief executive, Daniel Ek, has announced a guide for all creators, so that's Spotify exclusive podcasts and any podcasters that upload on Spotify, so anyone can access this. Also, content advisory to any podcast which includes COVID-19 discussion. So this will link to, let's say, countries, medical boards or scientists or doctors, official information that's trusted sources.
That's the BBC's Harry Bly. Manufacturing activity in China's economy grew at a slower clip this month compared to December, blamed on tough COVID-19 measures put into place. Townhall.com. Investigators trying to determine the cause of last month's devastating Colorado wildfire now looking beneath their feet.
A fire raging in an underground Colorado coal field in 1883 sent so much smoke pouring from cracks in the ground that the scene was likened to burning volcanoes. The state's first mining inspector deemed the blaze impossible to extinguish. Nearly 140 years later, 2 fires still smolder in that now abandoned coal field near Boulder, the same area where the December wildfire destroyed more than 1,000 homes and buildings and killed at least 1 person. I'm Ben Thomas.
There will be no, as he puts it, grotesque smear campaigns against President Biden's Supreme Court nominee. That assurance by Senator Tom Cotton, the Arkansas Republican, telling Fox News Sunday, we will review the nominee on her merits. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. And I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Chasing Viernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the final day of January.
Sun is, well, shining. Not
it is
warm.
Well, it will be. Today's a nice day of the week.
Yeah.
This is the best we get all week is today. So drink it in.
Soak it in, folks.
That's today's weather. It'll be the nicest we have all week because it's all downhill from here.
Thanks, Captain Optimism.
Unless you like colder temperatures and wet weather, then then you're going to have a good week.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't,
are you a fan of using the least important card in your wallet to scrape the frost off your windshield first thing in the morning?
No. My wife bought me something to do that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you park in a garage, too, so it doesn't come up, I'm sure.
Well, if I'm here at work and it snows all day, and then I got to use something to get home.
So you got a tool for that?
I do.
You know, I feel like I'm far enough removed from the situation that I can admit this. I went to Oklahoma this last time. I had a frustrating situation.
Yeah.
The weather and the drive to Oklahoma resulted in a particularly dirty windshield. A lot of bugs, a lot of hit, a lot of
debris,
a lot of dirt and debris. And I was driving. It was on an evening into the sun, and it was sort of hard to see anything. So I had my sister with me in my car, and we were driving around to different locations to find a squeegee to clean my windshield.
Did you try a gas station?
We tried several. So let me back up. So we went to the first one, and they had no squeegees.
Okay.
No squeegees. No, they had fluid, but they had no squeegees.
Someone stole the squeegees.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So I went to the next place, and they had a squeegee.
But no
fluid.
Yeah.
At this point, I was frustrated.
I feel like a Reese's commercial's coming up.
At this point, I was pretty doggone frustrated. So I grabbed the squeegee and threw it in my car, and we drove off.
Nice. You stole the squeegee.
I stole a squeegee from a gas station.
Did you go back to that gas station that was stolen? Maybe replace it there?
Sure didn't.
Oh, you should have.
No, and I only remember this because it's still sitting in my car as we speak. And I've thought about it since. I'm like, I did this kind of in the height of COVID. It's like, that's probably the filthiest thing on the planet, just sitting in my car. But I was trying to make a statement.
No.
I've crossed state lines at this point, so I'm pretty sure it's a felony. I don't know. I might be admitting to more than I should.
I will laugh if the RPD comes knocking.
Statute of limitation hasn't been lifted on
I got an
squeegee
extradition warrant for you to go back to McDill, Oklahoma, because there's a report of a stolen squeegee.
Oh, no. It's Pottawatomie County. I'm coming home, Ma. Get the spare room ready.
No. Mine was bought. Mine actually is like a multi-tool.
Yeah?
Like, I think it's also a funnel. It's a funnel and an ice scraper. So if I need to, add fluids, I use the same tool. I get the muck off my windshield with. Yeah.
That's handy.
I've used it as a funnel, not as a muck remover yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got another deal, too, a cleaner deal thing that she got me, too. She buys me apparatus a lot.
Oh.
Usually like Christmas stocking stuffers.
Right.
I get things like this. And they just compile in the car and garage. And so when these needs arise, I generally have something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You grab a tool that you happen to have handy.
Yeah. So,
of course,
I grew up in a world.
That's the scout in you.
Well, I also grew up in a world where you had to use these things sometimes.
Sure.
So, I'm probably one of the few people in this community that owns a snow shovel.
You're not wrong.
I own one, and I've had it for 20 years.
Yeah, you really come to realize exactly how handy something like that is when you're scraping Goliath snow off your driveway with a boat oar.
No, I have
we were doing that.
I don't own a plethora of tools, but I got a snow shovel. Weirdly enough, I got tools.
I don't know how we acquired a boat oar, but that's something we had.
Because a lot of oaring going on in southeast New Mexico.
It is true. Ladies.
Sure, it wasn't a trophy for some day camp or something. You got
maybe. I just we were looking for stuff to scrape snow. And I'm like, hey, there's this boat oar. This will work. And it did too. It was very, very handy.
It was right next to that bird cage back there. You're like, why do we even have a bird cage?
The full printer's press that sat on our back porch for like a decade that didn't work.
Really?
Oh yeah.
A printer's press?
Uh-huh.
Circa what era?
Like 60s, 70s.
Nice.
1,000 pounds.
I'm sure there's somebody you could get to buy that thing.
I think we did eventually sold it for scrap when we had to move, but yeah.
Yeah. How did you acquire it to begin with?
We knew people.
Right.
My father-in-law worked in printing.
Oh, did he?
Bear in mind. For
I know that.
many years.
So was it a
people.
functional thing at some point?
I think it was there was like 2 or 3 things wrong with it he was going to fix.
And it never did.
And then those things compiled.
So there was an idea to do your own thing.
Oh, sure.
And then life happened and it just sat and collected dust in a basement or back porch.
On back porch, yeah.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now I follow. I follow the story.
That's where I used to drive.
I didn't know if it was just a thing like, you want a printing press? Who doesn't? I'll take one. Yeah. How much?
It involved a whole crew of people to bring it out on like a flatbed. We had to open up the backyard, like the fence that wasn't even supposed to open anymore. We had to open that up, and it was a whole thing. It wasn't like a casual like drop off thing. There was a whole process to it.
Gotcha.
And then eventually it just became the place I went to drink. To be honest.
Whip up a quick flyer.
That's right. That's what I call my drinks. I'm gonna go print.
Hot off the presses. What's that? My beverage. Well, the people we're going to talk to this hour is the opposite of all that.
Yeah,
they're into health and fitness and doing good things, not sitting on the porch drinking. next to a 40-year-old printing press.
Yeah. Oh no, it was a portrait of the life that I had chosen at that moment. Yeah. Real sad man sitting in a jacket on a back porch, drinking alone. So
I feel like what I would have done, I would have made my drinking more of an event with that. I would have dressed up like Ben Franklin and then occasionally
cranked it
like a ditto machine, crank something out. And
there's just there aren't enough 3/4 pants to make that happen.
Got some new episodes of the Poor Farmer's Almanac here for you if you need it. Or would you like a hot toddy?
Hot toddy. I am a fan.
That's how I would have done with it.
Yeah, well, I wasn't that innovative.
I'm not either. I just have a lot of ideas, and none of it would have been executed.
I guess I could have borrowed a pair of the wife's capri pants at that point. Those 3/4 pants are hard to find. Ben Franklin pants? Yeah, you're hard to come by.
Well, you have to work on that.
Yeah.
Glasses, buckle shoes, the whole nine.
You need a kite.
Yeah.
Kite and a key at the jar.
You basically just go grab the Quaker Oats box and look like that guy.
At that point, though, it's more cosplay than a problem. Yeah.
One man's problem is another man's cosplay.
Some would argue that one washes the hand of the other.
I see it as a problem. I see it as an opportunity.
I'm just saying, if you have an addictive personality, cosplay can loop you.
Yeah. If you want to do Ben Franklin cosplay, you're in a very niche group.
Yeah. But hey, you found your people.
What do? I dress up like Ben Franklin, sit on my porch and drink while standing next to a printing press from the 1950s.
But only after 5. I don't have a problem.
That's right. Oh, man. It is 9:14. We're going to have the folks from Healthy Kids Chavez County join us here, Paula Camp and Becky Joyce. And with them will be Colette Hall. She's the director of the rec center here in Roswell. So they will join us, talk Healthy Kids Chavez County, talk recreation opportunities, all that good stuff. So that's coming up here in just a few. Much more enlightening than, dressing up as Ben Franklin and day drinking on a porch next to an old printing press. Unless that's your thing. All right, it is 9:15. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got some colder temperatures on the way by Wednesday and maybe even a little bit of snow, rain, and freezing rain. In the meantime, nice today. Sunshine and our high will be in the upper 60s. Overnight, clouds and down to about 30 and then upper 50s with a few more clouds and breezy conditions on Tuesday. A chance of snow Wednesday morning, rain in the afternoon and low 40s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 41 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 49%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny today, and enjoy today. Today's the best of the week. It's all downhill from here. Sunny, 68 today. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 31. Winds will be out of the southwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, 50s, 57 for a high, under partly cloudy skies and north winds 10 to 20, so it's going to be breezy for the afternoon too. Mostly cloudy Tuesday night with an overnight low of 29 degrees. Winds will be out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Wednesday, Thursday happens. Moisture is in the forecast for both days. Probably going to see more rain than snow during the day Wednesday. We're looking at a 60% chance of precipitation on Wednesday. Snow in the form of snow before 11, then a mix of rain and snow for the afternoon. High of 42 under mostly cloudy skies Wednesday with east winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday night, we're looking at a 70% chance of snow, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 16. Thursday, we're looking at a 30% chance of snow showers, partly cloudy, high of only 25 for the day on Thursday. I did look at my app on my phone for AccuWeather here at the beginning of the show, and it looks like during the day Wednesday, most of it's going to be in the form of rain. Anything, not much of accumulating snow during the day Wednesday. Wednesday night, they're looking like about 1.5 inches here for Roswell, and then another 0.8 of an inch of rain or snow on Thursday. So maybe total by end of business Thursday, another 2 inches of snow. That's kind of what it looks like the forecasters are the models are kind of predicting for us. That's right now, and it's Monday. That could change by Wednesday, obviously, but kind of what they're leaning at the moment. It will remain cold, though, for the rest of the week there after Thursday, too. We got a high of only 25 on Thursday during the day. That night, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 6. And then Friday, we're going to hit freezing. Mostly sunny, high of 32 Friday. Mostly clear Friday night with an overnight low of 9. And then the weekend warms up a smidge. We'll be in the 40s. Sunny, 43 for a high Saturday. Sunny, 47 for a high on Sunday. Another overnight low of 18 Saturday night. So enjoy 68 and sunny today, because that's the best you're going to get the rest of this week. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 3.5-minute commercial break, and then we'll have Paula and Becky from Healthy Kids join us, and Colette from the Rec Center on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
It's a new year, and the progressives in Santa Fe are trying to get their claws into Roswell. Governor Grinch has her best buddy in Roswell running for mayor. In Roswell, we are proud of our families, our industry, our traditions, and our values. We can't let the Santa Fe gang take over our community. In the Roswell municipal election on March 1st, vote to keep Roswell open, to keep Roswell independent, and to keep Roswell free. Let's keep Kintai as our mayor.
This is Dennis Kintai, and I approve of this ad.
Nook's Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to you with new winter hours. The restaurant is now open 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and the store 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day. Be sure to get your last order in by 6:30 p.m. Delicious, authentic dishes, including a variety of Thai noodle soups, dried egg noodles, dumplings, and more, served at your table or to go. While you wait, browse the store with lots of fresh new ingredients like galunga, lemongrass, lime leaf, and Thai chili. Nook's Asian Market, South Main, Roswell.
Did you know that the New Mexico Department of Health has public health offices throughout the entire state? Every New Mexican is invited to visit the public health offices for free. You can receive support for both adults and children in your household. The Department of Health's public health offices provides free health and nutritional services for your entire family. Each location has its own hours of operation and a unique set of services. Visit nmpublichealth.org to schedule an appointment with the New Mexico Department of Health Public Health Office near you.
What does it mean to be a world-class university? To start, being ranked in the top 2% of universities in the world, and to be the only designated R1 highest research activity university in the state. It's about creating the most opportunities for students. And at the University of New Mexico, we do just that by offering affordable, top-tier education year after year and awarding millions in scholarships to our students. So, what are you waiting for? Apply to UNM at apply.unm.edu.
106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and KSVPTV.com invite you to attend the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association Candidate Forum for the 2022 Roswell Municipal Election. The event will take place Tuesday, February 1st, 6 p.m. at the Pueblo Auditorium. If you can't attend in person, be sure and listen to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM or watch online, KSVPTV.com or KSVPTV on YouTube.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Healthy Kids, Chaves County, Becky, Joyce, and Paula Camp are back with us. And joining us, director of the Recreation Center here in Roswell, Colette Hall with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Is that the title, director of the?
It's recreation director, so not just the rec center.
All of the recreation department.
Recreation,
so if it's at the rec center or at the adult center or wherever recreation takes place in Roswell, that's where it's at. Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
You're not capped to one building. For folks that aren't familiar, of course, Becky and Paula join us each month here with Healthy Kids Chaves County, and that is a group or part of the New Mexico Department of Health. It is a kind of under the umbrella of the New Mexico Department of Health, and their job is to kind of work with children, youth, schools on promoting healthy living, healthy eating, healthy exercise, and things like that.
Right.
Being a connection for not only parents and teachers, but for students and a resource to kind of fill the gap sometimes where maybe the schools are missing out or where another entity's missing out. You're kind of that glue that says, well, hey, come see what the city has to offer. Or come see what the middle schools are doing over here or whatever. That's you're that group that works through the Department of Health to kind of help schools and help the community make healthy eating and healthy lifestyles more accessible to kids and families.
Yes, better quality of life.
Yeah, and obviously Colette with the recreation department. I mean, I think so many people don't realize that, there's a lot of things to do with the city, but they don't realize that there's so more even before what you know. Like, oh yeah, you can go to the rec center and go swimming or go work out at one of the gym rooms or maybe sign up for some basketball or volleyball. But like renting bikes or doing family things that are kid-related or family-related that have nothing to do with, say, an organized sport or anything, that's all part of the recreation department too. There's lots of things that are self-driven, self-motivated that aren't necessarily part of organized sports or organized activities that all are available to our community that people just either don't know about or just hear it and, I don't know, forget about it or something. But you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that are available through the city that people don't even, it's not on their radar or for whatever reason they don't seem to know about it.
Exactly, and this is the best opportunity, and I'm so glad to be here this morning because I want to know why. How do you not know?
Yeah.
What have we not done that makes it so you don't know?
Yeah.
So this is great for your listeners to hear and tell us. Tell us what you want to see in your recreation department.
Sure.
Let us know what kind of activities. I had the best job ever. It's all about play.
Yeah.
How can you beat that?
Yeah, how can you get mad about recreating?
It's great. I get to see you when you're not at school and you're not at work.
Yeah.
And hopefully you're having a good time when I do get to see you.
Absolutely. There's one resource that I would like to point people first, if you're not familiar with everything available recreation side through the city is the city's website for that. Now, I think we all know roswell-nm.gov, which is if you want to know how to pay your water bill or know who your city council is or have questions related to anything government related or city service related in terms of getting your trash picked up or water or anything else. But there's another website, and it's called roswellconnect.com. And that is all things recreation. If you want to learn what's going on at the zoo or at the Roswell Museum and Art Center or at the Roswell Recreation and Aquatic Center or the Adult Center or anything that's not government related, Roswell Connect is your resource.
Exactly it.
Yeah.
And you're right. You can find everything all things play.
Yeah.
So everything you wanted to see, what all we're doing, all the activities, the classes, group fitness, everything is all on there. So
yeah, absolutely. Like when they have special events, like
it's on there,
your Brews at the Zoos or different fundraising events or the museum or the Recreation Aquatic Center if you want to sign up for like fall leagues and any of the youth sports or if you want to get like a year pass to the Recreation Center or a monthly pass or any of those. You do it all through the Roswell Connect website. And it's really, I know in the last, because let's face it, the recreation side of Roswell, since the Aquatic Center opened up a couple years ago, it's kind of, it went from, it was always there. We've always had a rec center, but it went from from going 20 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour once that rec center opened up and everything. It went from able to offer a limited number of things to a much bigger, broader base of activities and things for families to take part in. There's, I mean, like if you want to go work out, that's just like one question. Okay, wonderful. You want to do Zumba? Do you want to do one of the bazillion videos we got? Do you want to go and, go and actually pick up weights and stuff, or do some of the old school, like you see on TV with those big meatheads with the ropes and all that stuff? You want to be like, I want to do that stuff. I want to be buffed up. They got all that stuff too. But if you're like wanting to do something, I want to like do yoga or something that doesn't require me lifting a tire the size of a tractor. We got that too. You know what I mean? That's kind of.
That's exactly.
Yeah. Whatever you're into, the rec center's got something for you.
And let us know if we don't have it.
Yeah.
What did we miss? Let us know that. If you haven't been to the rec center, let us know why.
Yeah. And the thing I like about it too is it's not crowded. Like I mean you want it to be crowded. I get, but what I mean is everyone goes and because I think a lot of people like, I'm sure there's 20 people and no, you like depending. I mean, we have little groups that kind of go and they have got their certain times a day and they got, where it'll get a little busy. But for the most part, you just roll right on in there. You don't have to wait for equipment or nothing. You just sit, do your workout, do what you got to do. Maybe pop in and see a neighbor or friend and then shoot the breeze for a few minutes or not. You just do your thing and get out of Dodge,
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
You nailed it right there.
Yeah.
That's exactly. It's your time. It's your recreational time.
Right. And I think Colette kind of also wanted to touch on maybe the adult center.
Yes.
Yeah, that's now that they've kind of really fully reopened that area, and
you're right. You're absolutely
we need to get that on people's radar. It's like, no, the adult center's back. I know it's been 2 years of COVID and a lot of hit or miss on what you can do and can't do, and how much does it cost. And it's been a bit of a rigmarole, but now we're full. The adult center is full operations, full doing its thing. It's a little different than some of the programs and things that it was pre-COVID, but it's full open, full doing its thing right now.
Yes, it is. It's 8 to 5, Monday through Friday right now. We hope to expand those hours once we get the programming back up and going. And you're right, it was hit hard by COVID, and especially that population. That is very leery. Yeah, and they're at leery about they're very leery about coming back,
as they should be.
And so yes, exactly. So we want to make sure we're doing the programming with that in mind.
Absolutely.
And just to get you back into the center.
But if you're ready to get out there and start getting your card games back together, getting your social events, I know that on occasion you've got dances and stuff going on there on a weekend night or something like that. Just be on the. Put it back on your radar. Get on the schedule here again through Roswell Connect. You can find out now if you're a senior and you're like, I get on the internet to do a little Facebook. That's about it. I'm not deep into all that. Then you can still call or talk to live people and do the. But if you want the convenience of just checking real quick, get on your smartphone or get on your computer and you can read all this and look all up about this stuff.
But I think the community needs to know. They need to let Colette. And
give feedback. That's exactly right.
They need to let them know what they want and how they want to use the adult center.
Yeah, so if you walk in there and you're going to go do some swimming or going to you walk in and talk to the front desk and say, do you guys have any of these kind of classes, or do you guys offer this kind of program? And they're going to tell you, yeah, we do. Here it is, or no, but that might be something we look into. Can you give me some resources on where to do some research on this? Or you know what? I've had a couple other people say that too. Mate, that's something we're looking into. Or that's
exactly.
But Colette, you and your staff don't know unless people tell them.
That's
so
right.
you guys come up. I mean, you guys have all kinds of plans, and here's a model for how these work well, and that'll give you a good gist. But what they do in Ruidoso or what they do in Albuquerque is probably not the same thing what we do here in Roswell. You know what I mean? So it's customized for how Roswell lives and recreates.
Yes, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's about you.
Yeah.
It's about you coming, well, Mike, you coming too, but it's about all of Roswell coming.
The collective you.
There you go, collective you.
All right.
Coming and recreating with us, having some playtime with us.
And that makes your job on the Healthy Kids and everybody's easier. I will tell you this, we all love foods. We all love food. And there's all foods we all love that we know we're not supposed to be eating. I don't care who you are. If you're a human, there are foods that you love that you're like, that's bad for me. And they always tell you, I don't care what it is, chocolate cake or whatever it is. Every person's got a guilty pleasure. And recreation allows you to have the guilty pleasure a little bit more. That's all I'm saying is a day of recreating and exercise can correct some bad behaviors you had the night before. I'm just saying, I'm not telling you give carte blanche to eat your chocolate cake by the pound every day, but you go and exercise a couple times a week or do things that are physically fit and active, then you're going to find out that your metabolism picks up and you're able to enjoy from time to time the things that they tell you probably shouldn't be eaten 27 times. Oh, well, I had 4 pieces of pizza today. Well, guess what? You roped out, so that's not so bad. You burned off something. And that's life. That's, there's going to be days where we all screw up on our diets or our things like that. And the great equalizer is recreation. The great, the chance for you to, and it's a mental thing too. Maybe that drives you to work out. It's like, I ate a big piece of pie last night. I'm doing an extra 10 minutes on the elliptical here, to make up for that. That's how beneficial science will tell you, but that's a good, healthy mindset to have is, it's like, if I'm going to do this, and then you can enjoy some of those things. It's just like life, everything else in life. Everything's great, but there's too much of a good thing for everything. I don't care what it is that you love in humanity. Too much of it can be a bit much, and that's even love and all these things we talk about. It's like you get a little too clingy, then you start creating problems. It's no different in life. If you're eating a loaf of toast for breakfast every day, that's going to catch up to you at some point.
And that's why we brought Colette here is to spark everybody's energy to get out there and do something. But she's got some great programs and brought on some new staff. I think we have our rec. I don't know what his title is.
Rec manager.
Manager.
Yeah. And he's in charge of the actual rec center, I guess, that portion of it.
Right. So he's going to be over both rec centers, but a lot of the programming.
Okay. He's the one that makes sure the programs get
Diaz. Yeah. And so it is not only, we know the physical aspect of it that you just talked about.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's also the mental aspect.
Oh, absolutely.
And to come in to do stuff with people that are like-minded. If you're coming in to do a stained glass class, it's always, there's only so much you can watch on YouTube that tells you how to do it, but there's something about a person giving you that instruction.
Sure.
That is live and that's right there with you, and that other people are having the same problem doing it maybe this way.
And usually the live thing, that they know the tricks, things like you can watch that YouTube video 12 times, but if you don't know the little trick it is to make it, or even if they explain it to you, it still comes out like they're talking Chinese to you. It just doesn't make sense. But when someone's there with you and hands-on with you, you're right. It's a big difference.
But they've got a great staff, and Alex, and then she's got a new aquatics.
Yes, we've got Tammy Lars, our new aquatic supervisor.
Okay.
And so she's bringing in a lot of really great programs.
Good.
And like you said, check it out.
Absolutely.
All on Roswell Connect.
While we're talking about that, I know it's January going into February, but this is going to be a problem soon. And you do have an indoor swimming facility, so it's kind of a year-round deal. Lifeguards, things like that, I know they're, like, particularly in the summer months, they're always, kind of desperate for looking for hiring for lifeguards and stuff. So imagine if people are looking for employment opportunities through the recreation department, you've got some great staff, but we need more.
We need a lot more lifeguards.
Yeah, so if you're interested in doing this kind of stuff.
It's one of the best first jobs you could ever have.
Yeah. Yeah, college students and high school, as long as you get to, I think you got to be, got to get your Red Life certifications and the lifeguard.
American Red Cross. We'll have those classes for you.
Yeah.
Look for them coming up, and we'll have all that, and we're ready to hire you.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a great job.
All right. A few years back, my daughter was going to work at a camp in Michigan, and there was nowhere in town to take even a class to become certified.
Oh, wow.
And we're working on all of that. Great.
So it's to have that opportunity. She was in college and was like, okay. I said, oh, yeah, you can just go take it. And there wasn't one, So, it's a good opportunity for not just maybe if you're going to work here in Roswell, but even if you're going to work somewhere else, you can get that certification before you head off to whatever.
Even like college students, or maybe you're going, maybe they're looking for social work or youth programs and things like that. All that's great experience on that side of things, whether you're a lifeguard or maybe a summer job working at camp counselors, things like that. All of that stuff is great experience learning, the humanities when you go to college there and all of that. That's definite. If you've got a desire to go into that career field or that field of area, working through the recreation department on some of this stuff too. And then I'd also throw another layer that the city offers, and I think some of those opportunities are through the recreation department as well. Kathy Lay, who's the Keep Roswell Beautiful coordinator, that's kind of her one title. But she really is also part of the volunteer program that's part of the city of Roswell too. So if you don't even have to be a college student. If you're looking to want to volunteer at some of the city facilities here to maybe as a learning experience or just want to help out, I know they have the volunteer now. I'm sure they use them at the recreation center. They use them at the zoo. They use them at various places around the city. And in essence, you get to learn the craft, learn the trade, learn how these things happen, and working for free, but at the same time, it's kind of volunteering. I think it counts for like if you got high school community service commitment hours, I think it meets all of those needs. But on top of that, if you're looking like you're 17, 18, and you're like, I'm going to college and I think I want to be a social worker, but maybe what if I go to college and don't like all this stuff? And now you get a summer volunteer thing or a summer job with the city, and next thing you know, you're like, oh man, I love helping people. Or you know what? Maybe I should look at dentistry. Or whatever it is that you're going to do.
Yeah.
That's
Good point.
The city's got great opportunities there, and all you got to do is get on a website or make a phone call,
right?
And reach out. And there's a lot of people, obviously on the recreation side, that would love to have you come over here. But even talk to Kathy if you're like, well, I'd rather do something, more business than that. Well, great, and maybe they'll put you in the library or something. But you know what I mean? Those opportunities are there too. So take advantage of them to better yourself, either professionally or if, like you said, I got enough hard work of the day. I need to go home or I got to find a place to de-stress a little bit, or stop thinking about the numbers at work or whatever it is, and maybe go and play. Go work out at the gym or go swim some laps or get involved in a pickleball, volleyball, or some kind of.
Then they've got pickleball set up. At the rec center. So it's a good.
And pickleball's serious business. I learned that the hard way. My mother and father-in-law are pickleball players. And they live out in Arizona, and they live in one of those retirement communities where it's like a 55 up, and they've got their own little complex and things. And they've got like championship pickleball courts there in Tucson, and it's cutthroat. Like it's hard. Like I walked and watched, and I just made like a joke like one time, just like just something offhanded, nothing. And they looked at me like I just committed some kind of party. Like it's like you ever watch a movie and someone says something, and like you hear the record screech, and everyone stops and looks at them like that was me at the pickleball court. And I was like, I'm just trying to be funny, being my simple dumb self that I normally am. And that's when I learned, all right, I'm just going to shut up and watch pickleball because clearly this is not the place for jokes.
It's serious.
Yeah, they were taking it very seriously. But there's lots of great opportunities that way. So, let me ask you, while you're doing, what's some of the stuff that you guys got planned for the summer here, or things you're trying to put in the works right now?
It's more of just building on what we've got, adding more fitness in. Like you said, staffing is a huge, huge issue right now.
It's a big problem for everybody right now, including the Recreation Aquatic Center and the recreation side of the city.
So we're trying to really just add on to everything.
Gotcha.
From everything you've talked about, from the physical to the arts and crafts, to the swimming, everything that you've talked about, we're just going to add on and keep adding.
Absolutely.
Keep adding new stuff.
Absolutely. So please get involved. And I got to be honest, demand makes things happen faster. The more people come out and want to get involved and more say things, the more participation, that's going to also speak to her bosses and say, you know what, we need to start moving staff and getting people on that side too. So it's a win-win. If you love and support the recreation in this community, you got to support it. You got to come out and do it. Everyone loves, we get a lot of people. Yeah, we need the zoo. Yeah, we need a pool. all right, we got it. Now you got to use it, because if you don't use it, then it's going to go away. That's just, cities are cities. At the end of the day, they're going to make sure your water comes on. They're going to make sure your toilet's flush. They're going to make sure your trash gets picked up. They're going to make sure your street doesn't look like a war zone. And if they do that, that's their main things. Everything else is a gravy victory after that. So everything on the recreation, though very much needed to be a part of a great thriving community, will take a back burner to roads and water if you don't participate and use it. So if you want to continue to see all the great things happening at the zoo and the recreation center at the library and all that, we, the public, have to go out and be a part of these things. Invest your own time. Volunteer. Become a friend of the zoo or a friend of these things. Come volunteer time to help out. All of this stuff is integral. The city can only do so much. We, the public, have to do our part for it to work. And that's the part we're asking, is you got to come out. And all we're asking you to do is come and enjoy stuff. Hey, come take a hike on some of our trails. Go rent a bike and ride around here, or come and play some cards or some board games over at the recreation or the adult center. Come sign up to maybe take a class out at the recreation center, a swimming class or a class to learn how to do yoga. Whatever it is, or maybe your kids. You know what? My kids need to get involved in more team activities. They got volleyball, basketball. They got all kinds of. And they're all, and it's for little kids. So if they don't know what's a basketball, come on in. We're going to teach them what a basketball is. From that level to and we need volunteers. If you're parents and love to coach and do these things, they're looking for all kinds of coaches and volunteers. There's many ways to get involved. Ask about that stuff too. There's so much going on. I'm just scratching the surface on all this stuff. I'm just trying to throw everything at the wall and be like, oh, they got that. I didn't realize. That's literally what I'm doing. I'm just touching a couple of things. There's so much more than that.
And let them know. Let them know if there's something that you're interested in doing.
Yeah.
A new kind of yoga or whatever it is. They need to know, and they can't do that unless you
and especially if you instruct it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, we're looking for instruction.
Yeah, if you're like, man, I've been teaching Zumba for years. Well, great. Then come, love to have come reach out. Maybe we can have you set up your own class this time, and it's a great. If you haven't been into the new Recreation Aquatic Center since it opened up a couple years ago here, shame on you, first off, because it's a beautiful facility. I'll never forget the first time I walked through there. I literally felt like I spent an hour just walking, and I was still in basketball courts. I'm like, how many basketball courts? I'm like, I think I feel like I've been walking for 10 minutes. I'm still in the same basketball. I mean, there's just so much stuff there. It really is, and it's yours. If you live here, it's yours.
Right. And I know they're always looking for coaches. You spoke about that.
Yeah.
Alex comes from a big soccer background in California.
Okay.
So, I think the soccer.
We have a pretty good soccer. Yeah, we got a strong contingent here.
Right. And so, there's just lots of ways that you can be a part of our recreation.
Yeah. I think, be honest, I love what the city did, kind of making that Cielo Grande area and all that kind of the recreation mecca for Roswell, or at least that's, in the big
plan.
With the BLM and their facilities out there, obviously the Recreation Aquatic Center, Cielo Grande Park, everything that's with it, it's all right there at one place, and it kind of turned into our recreation mecca for the city of Roswell, and I kind of love that, because really, you can, if you want, just park in the Cielo Grande parking lot there, and then walk around all these great places and do all that there. If you want to go take a hike, or if you want to go play in the soccer or baseball, or if you want to go inside the rec center, or if you want to venture on over to the BLM and do some archery and fishing kind of stuff. I mean, it's all right there. You can park your car and just go. It's beautiful. It's a great thing. So if you haven't done that yet and you've lived here, why not? Come out and do this stuff. It's there.
Right.
A lot of it's very low cost or free of charge, depending on what you do out there. It's a great way to do family activities and things like that. I mean, and there's a lot of side stuff that people have just started. The walk with a dock thing that that's a grassroots thing that just started out there in Cielo Grande. Now they got a whole cavalcade of people that go out there every Saturday morning running around with the dock there, and that just started organically. And that's what the Roswell Recreation Aquatic Center is all about, is things like that. So if you got those ideas or got those desires, reach out to Colette and her staff and say, I would love to do this. And, is there other people? And I bet there's probably 5 other people, 10 other people said, I'd get involved with that. Or, it's your recreation aquatic center. It's fluid in what we, the community, want with it. There's no set rules. Like they've set up these programs, but if no one's wanting to play volleyball, then maybe we shouldn't do volleyball. We'll do something else. That's just kind of, but that does, Nicolette and her, Colette, sorry. Colette and her staff don't know any better unless you tell them. And that's
perfect.
That's
nice
how it is.
Perfect.
So please get involved and try it out, have some fun. And if you're like, gee, you should have this, speak up. Forever you hold your peace here. And get involved.
With Healthy Kids, we've just finished the 5210 program
in
the schools, and one of the portions of that is physical activity. And even just participating in these programs, that just kind of takes care of that for that each day. So
1 hour or more of physical activity.
Right.
And parents, the more active you get your kids involved in, the more tired they are at the end of the day. And they're more likely they're going to sleep well. And a kid that's active and going busy and engaging in all this stuff, they're better. Kids just end up being better adjusted in life. There's so much benefit there. They learn problem-solving skills. They learn team building and team concept. There's so many things that the recreation side of the city can help with the raising of your kids that I don't care if you're the best parent on the planet, you can't do by yourself. You just can't. You've got to have, you hear the things about it takes a village, and I agree to that to a point. It takes a village but it takes parents to do the hard part. But I mean, the village,
and if parents are involved, that encourages the kids. That's a role model for the kids. And then also it's an activity for the family to do together. Everybody go out and do something together.
Sure.
We've talked about that on our trails. Becky's, put all the different trails in Roswell on Facebook and encourage families to get out and go for a walk.
Absolutely.
But go to the rec center.
Sure.
And see what you can do together there.
In the daddy-daughter dance.
Absolutely. That's coming from the 12th.
Fantastic, and it's one of the cutest. It's one of my favorites.
It's a tradition.
So cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
And by the way, go to RoswellConnect.com. You can get tickets for it. It's coming up February 12th. It'll be at the Recreation Center. Off the top of my head, I believe it's $10 for dad and the first daughter, and then $3, I think, for daughter after that.
Yes.
It's kind of geared for girls about 5 to about 18. So, but if you got a 4-year-old and you want to let them dance on you, please come on, bring them out.
Put them on your feet and take them with you.
You end up seeing a lot of little girls with daddy for the first time, and then you see the other spectrum, where you got the high school kid. Probably the next dance is at a wedding. Just saying, you know what I mean? And so you you get a little bit of both there, from catching them at the beginning, setting the standards, to maybe transitioning them to that stage where they start to enter adulthood. That's kind of, and that dance is kind of that moment here. So get your tickets. I always say, make it a special day. Maybe take them out to dinner afterwards, or lunch before, depending on the age, and step up your game a little bit. Like, you're like, all right, we're going to Red Lobster now because, it's a special thing, and you can get more than the popcorn shrimp. Let's get you up to maybe a crab or something. Yeah, or a lobster. If you're feeling really frisky, point to the tank, but don't go that crazy. But you know what I mean? Make it a special event and make it a to-do. And I guarantee your daughter's gonna kind of, I think, and be enamored with that a little bit.
And it's a memory of a lifetime.
It
Absolutely.
is. She'll never forget that.
I'll tell you this, Sean, who people know this, and he's doing his show next door, but it's been a tradition for him and his daughter for at least 4 or 5 years now. They've been, she's a third grader, I think, now, but yeah, for the last 4 or 5 years now, they make it a tradition. They go, and he makes a whole to-do out of it, and she loves it, and that's,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Then he's got to go do something special for the boy later, because he gets a little jelly. But that's another story.
Well, and too, Becky talked about the 5210. Another part of that, the 2 is for 2 hours or less of screen time. Kids have become so sedentary. They sit and play games, watch YouTube, whatever.
Yeah, the recreation
don't
is
get out.
something on a screen.
They need to get out and move. whatever that may be, whether, and they could do it at the rec center.
Well, and I can tell you, and I've never done scientific studies or all this, but it doesn't take a genius to figure this one out. Childhood diabetes, all these health issues are rising.
Yes.
And they've been rising steadily for the last 20, 30 plus years, probably even more than that. I'm sure there's multiple reasons for that, but I will tell you right now, technology is probably number one reason for that, where, growing up as kids our age, I ain't going to lie, my mom sent us out and said, don't come home till the street light comes on.
Sure.
You're outside all day. And that was how we did it, where that's a thing of the past nowadays. Either parents are like, no, I don't want to leave them outside by themselves all day because the world we live in, or technology's made it. So, a quiet kid's a kid in front of a phone or a tablet playing Fortnite or whatever the latest game is right now, And
they're not learning social skills.
Oh, heck no.
They need to get out and play.
Problem-solving skills.
In sports. Team sports are excellent.
So important.
Yeah.
So important. They need that. They need that socialization, and they need to learn how to get along with people.
Yeah. It's like in school. I don't even know if it's like I remember in school they used to teach you all those social cues in the written, like how to write a letter, how to send a thank you note, how to, things that all have gone the way of the dodo today. Like there's forms. There's certain ways you're supposed to write a letter. There's a format. You just don't say "Dear John" and then go right. And there's actual format there. But none of that's being taught nowadays. And I think that's all. That's kind of speaks to what you're saying here a little bit, is on the social cue side, is because everything's done communicated in 120 characters or less. It's hard to realize that, be doing polite things for people and holding doors for people and saying please and thank you and yes ma'am, no ma'am. And those things are going the way of the dodo. And all that comes back with a trip to the recreation center and being a part of an organized sport, or deciding as a family to create days where maybe if you're like, I don't want to play. Okay, fine. Well, then go get your family and say every Tuesday night's bowling night. We're going to go to the bowling alley and go bowling. I mean, do something. Do something to get people out and get everything out.
Recreate.
Get out and recreate. Yeah. And if you want to do that on a very affordable way with lots of ideas, then to make a trip on over to the rec center. Go to RoswellConnect.com. Start doing some research. Start doing some reading. Start learning about all the free and low-cost things that are right in your own backyard, and participate.
I know the baseball, Little League baseballs, I think Nunop's on their late sign-up, and Lions Hondo is just starting maybe.
Okay.
And so those are going on.
Okay.
You can find
And I think soccer is too. I think I've got someone coming from soccer coming on.
Softball also.
Yeah, so
there's lots of things for kids to do.
Spring sports, and 'tis the season to start signing up for the spring events and sports and things.
It is.
And again, RoswellConnect.com is your resource for everything city related when it comes to recreation. That's if you want to, go on what's going on at the zoo, you want to know what's going on at the museum, any of the museums, you want to know what's going on at the recreation center, the adult center, that Roswell Connect is your resource for all of that stuff. It's put it down in there in your bookmarks where you keep your other websites and all that.
Exactly.
Is there anything I missed in getting on my soapboxes talking? Or is there anything you wanted to share that we got sidetracked on?
I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. Everything you knew, all recreation. This has been wonderful.
I talk a lot.
I could talk it all day for recreation. This is great. This is
good
great.
Deal. Well, come be a part. Please reach out. Roswell Connect. What's the phone number over the rec center? Is there like a general number if people just want to call it?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
And I'm trying to.
Because you never call it, so that's a piece of information. I know.
It's on her card.
It's
I bet.
Give
me a second. Give me a second.
You're right. I bet
and I've got it right here.
Well, it's an office number. The 624. Is that the right number?
6719.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, that's it.
I have it right here. I didn't have to ask you. 575-624-6719. Again, or RoswellConnect.com is the website. Please, and then. If nothing else, come on by. Just walk in there, and if it's not busy, say, "Hey, can I take a tour? See what's going on?"
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
perfect. And talk to us. And again, I can't stress it enough. Tell us what we're missing.
Yes, yeah. If you wish or been hoping for things, or wanting to see things, or have an idea for things, please reach out. Reach out, and next thing you know, maybe there is going to be that class, or maybe you're the one teaching it. Who knows?
Yes,
but
exactly.
Love to have that. So, well, thank you. And then, of course, with Healthy Kids Chaves County, like it on Facebook.
Please.
That's probably
Check
the best
us
thing.
out.
If you're a parent and live in Chaves County, you should already have that as part of your pages you follow, because almost daily you guys are constantly putting out nutritional ideas, recreational ideas, information regarding school policy or any stuff that's going on in the schools.
Right. If there's sign-ups for different things, we try to put that on.
You guys keep everyone abreast of all of that stuff.
Right.
Through the Healthy Kids Chaves County Facebook page. So just, when you get onto the Facebook, Healthy Kids Chaves County should be one of the first things that pops right up. You can like and follow it there, too.
Please.
And then don't forget to like and follow the City of Roswell's Facebook. And there's the Recreation one and the City Government one. Both will keep you up to date on concerts, events, pay your water bill, whatever it is. It's all right there. So
That's right.
good deal. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thanks for your time.
See you next time. And yeah, we'd love to. Maybe we can get anytime we got stuff going on over there. Just reach out. Let me know. We'll get it. If we got new programs, new people, new events we want to promote, just give me a holler. We'll love to have you to come and talk about it on the radio.
Okay.
So, all right. Very good. Well, thank
As
you, man.
you can see, Mike doesn't have a problem talking.
No.
I like it.
No.
I like it.
I found the one job they pay me to do. That's
There you
kinda
go.
weird.
We love it.
You can't beat it. That's great.
Well, thank you guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.
All right, 9:58. Quick break before Travis and Buck and Travis take over. So I can't cut in their time. They get mad when I do that. So quick break, and then we're out.
If your car breaks down, no need to cry, because there's always a pal nearby at Big O. At Big O Tires. Locally owned will get you in gear. That's because you've known us for years at Big O. Big O Tires. Don't need to sweat any extra labor. You can always trust a good neighbor at Big O. At Big O Tires. The best service is part of our code. Need a cup of sugar? We're down the road at Big O. At Big O Tires.
You can trust the team at Big O Tires for great service and even better deals. Come in today and get a $70 reward card on select Michelin tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price, not to exceed $35 where permitted. Void where prohibited. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer. See store for details. Some stores in Missouri, Minnesota, and Kansas are company owned.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for a